Okay, sorry. Mea culpa, y'all. We are very, very late. Baldric first, 344. Baldric, I would have felt bad. IO9. Hey, sir, how you doing? Welcome, gentlemen, welcome. I would have felt bad, Baldric, if I saw that at 3 o'clock, you know, when I was supposed to be actually starting. I was like, oh, Baldric's been waiting all this time. But no. No. You were there literally when I cut the stream off. Oh, that's loud. That's a bit loud. I think that's a bit loud. Hey, Baldric, that's my line. I have a trademark on hello, hello. If you say it twice, that's my thing. Who is this guy? What do you mean? What are you going to talk about? Yognip? I'm the same Elder Scrolls Legends guy that you're talking about. What? Long time no see. I know, right? Yognip, thanks for playing with us today. I know it was pretty long on your end. It took a while, but it was very, very helppful. And in fact, I think maybe even more so than usual. Like on Tesla, I was like, friend things. I mean, they're fine, but it's like, okay, you're trying to ladder or whatever. But yeah, like you and Bodybag, or anybody really, look forward to playing with if possible, especially for those streams, because it's easier to figure stuff out, like when you're doing that, versus kind of roping the opponent. Quite a board here by Aros. Always good to see the aspirant. I don't think I've made her premium yet. I want to. I need to. Figured it's easier to learn away stuff when doing friendlies. It is. Oh, 100% Ogdip. I don't even think there was a turn timer. Because I know we took a while. Oh, man. Barbas, of all things. Barbas? Well, clearly, Ugnip, I have not learned jack about deck building. That's the one part that I have not picked up, but yeah, it's trial by fire, really. You know, you learn. I've learned a lot of that the hard way, or I mean, a lot of it. You taught me a lot of it. A lot of the things you taught me, or at least, so like when you told me about like the orb, it was so far from what I was doing. I was like, because you even warned me, like, make sure you have the card before you like. And I remember that as soon as I bought that one card, I was like, oh, that's what Ugnip was talking about. Like, it just didn't register the whole time because I'm like, wait, what? Like, why am I going to spend that much money and not get a card? You know, that doesn't make any sense. But you did warn me. But yeah, there was a lot you taught me, and then a lot, Cryptic Commander taught me. So I think I had a good leg up on it. But yeah, you learn it the hard way. It's yeah, and there's, I feel like Legends, I think, is 85% surface and 15% can go deeper. Well, maybe 25. We'll do 75, 25. 75, you kind of get what you see. There's going to be some dynamics, movement cards that allow movement. And there's going to be some of that. But a lot of it is kind of you get what you get. With Magic, I feel like that's inverted. I feel like 25% is getting the keywords down, getting the basic gameplay down, getting all the modes. And the rest of it is learning what every card does, and then how that combines with something else. Like I was reading a post on after I got beat by some of these crazy win by turn 5 decks, I was like, what is the worst deck? And of course, it was very much like Tessel. There were people that hated aggro, and there were people that hated control. What is this? This is a spell sword. You weren't playing this yesterday. Is this a ward? Heed my warning. Oreo Cookie Gal, go. Oh, crap. I asked him a question right as he gets a prophecy.
Speak, citizen.
And that's not a downside on Legends. I think I think it's fine that Legends is, that doesn't have that level. I would never have gotten into it if it had been like Magic. Because I did try to play Magic. I had a friend sit me down at a tabletop, and he tried to teach me Magic. And we got through a whole game, and other than tapping, needing lands, tapping them, I didn't remember very much at all. And I was like, this is just not me. But Legends has helped me understand enough of the fundamentals, I think, that it's made Magic more approachable. I just think it's one of the injustices of the world. One, that a game like Legends is going away, period. And two, that games like Magic are like that, games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Of all things are gangbusters right now, and young kids are playing it, old people are playing it, everybody's playing it. But something like Magic that is the OG and foundational, and definitely, I would say, from what I've seen, has even more depth than they do.
A little distraction might prove useful.
That one's having to scrounge with these, Marvel IPs and stuff. Come on now. Right. Yeah. And similarly, as a Tesla player, I feel spoiled now when I look at it. I'm like, one, you can dust to get more resources. Two, you can farm directly for your resources, the resources that you use to craft your decks. Magic, it is free to play, and it is accessible. And I don't. That's absolutely true, but the roundabout way that you get the resources you need to craft the cards that you actually want is definitely what part of what's allowing them to make money on it. Because people are going, okay, you know what? Like I'm almost ready to pull it. I'm almost willing to spend $7,000 like you to get the gems and the stuffs in order to start building a collection properly.
You are no match for me. My vengeance. We fight for all Skyrim.
And it's a bummer too because, well, now I'm calling myself out here. Because I was going to say it's a bummer that I'm not able to do in Legends what I'm able to do now with Magic, in that people like Crypto Commander and Kebby G, I believe. Where I can, like, they're like, hey, just contact me and I can help you build a. You think he does?
We must protect the Night Mother.
I don't think he does, Io. I don't think he does. See, you got to remember, Io, you're not me. I'm going to beat this drum until I'm done. But, I mean, can he win? Can Io win with this? No. He's way off. 9, 10. Does he have 11 Magic in hand? He does not. I mean, the silence works. But does it stop lethal? I don't think it does. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think it does. Oh, excuse me. But that's what makes me wonder, Agnet, between the lack, it almost makes me think. Wait, what? What did you do? This is either the biggest brain play or you just... Why? What? I think that must have slipped, Io, right? You meant to silence the 710? Can't target Nord. Oh, he's got the thing. He's got the thing. He slapped that on at the last minute. See, it's moments like this that make me go, I feel like I've learned nothing at all. Even in Legends. But yeah, between the lack of marketing for this thing and the inability to or the unwillingness, it seems, to actually make it a profitable, like, in a way to generate profit, almost makes me think this was kind of like a pet project of somebody, or some people there that was allowed to happen, but that ultimately there were a lot of people that weren't in support of, so they never got the full backing of the company behind it. And as a result, Thin White Duke, go, go, go. Let's see. Nice, okay. Oh. Okay, all right. So, then Mike Dukestar is about to tell us what shenanigans he is up to today. 5 Withered Hand Cultists in play, plus Chanter. Conscription costs 20. Wait, so you're doing the... Is this like the White Whale thing? Oh, Chanter summons Alduin. Wait, okay, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Withered Hand Cultist, Chanter of Akatosh. Oh, right, because the spell costs 20. So you have to ramp. Chanter makes your spell cost 20, or the Withered Hands make it cost 20. You play... Okay! Okay! Wow. That is a journey. Okay.
I fight with the fervor of the wild hunt.
You following all that, folks? My goodness gracious. Okay, 5-ish. All right. So in true Thin White Duke fashion. Oh no. That sucks. That's just the way it is. But yeah, I just feel like Legends was never given what it needed to thrive. It just seemed like it was a wholehearted effort by half of the company, if that makes any sense. That sounds profound as hell, doesn't it? Gonna pat myself on the back for that one. Wholehearted effort by half of the company. Yeah. Like, I almost think it wasn't supposed to be successful. Like it was supposed to be like a kind of a fun, like, hey, we just want a little marketing thing, just a little something, kind of like we were talking about, like Magic needs another medium to help promote the brand, to help promote the whatever, to help promote it to a new audience. And so, whatever that's going to be, may not have to be like a big effort deal. I mean, it could be, like I said, compared to the money that they spend on
Walk with our Lord.
IPs and everything and licenses, probably wouldn't even be close to that. Oh, and the other thing is, how do you get that many withered hands? That's just going to be Galeen, I guess. Saw a video about Marvel Snap is bleeding players now, so in this rate, it's all over Urn as well. Really? You think? That fast? Marvel Snap is bleeding out? Has anybody told Joe? Because when you tell Joe just reminds you that there's a shuffling algorithm in Magic the Gathering Arena. That's all you'll get out of Joe. And that just speaks to how bad my dragon deck must be. That even with an algorithm that says, okay, he's lost 10 games, we should probably throw him a bone here. And then the other part of the game's going, oh my gosh. The other game's going, his deck sucks. What shuffle can we give him that's actually going to make a difference? Of course you had two of those cloaks. Yeah, IO. Yeah, that was... That you got the raw deal. And, yeah, because... yeah.
Welcome to House Redoran, recruit.
In all the decks, I mean, that's... I think honestly, partially why I'm big on Magic right now is that I can't see the BS through the normal gameplay yet. Whereas, like, yeah, that I could say, okay, wow, of all those cards my opponent just happened to have in his last card that he played, a card that didn't allow me to silence. Like, I know, I built decks where I put stuff like that in there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this in here because I don't want this awesome card of mine to get silenced. And then either A, my opponent has hard removal, or B, I never draw the gosh darn card. So I'm always resentful to a degree when other people's decks work out the right way. And there's a charge coming. And he's going to, it's a breakthrough on, what's his name? Or is that a concession? Or is this going to be a red year? I mean, how... Hold up. How does Halalu have ramp? How is Halalu at 14 Magicka right now? Oh, no. You know, he probably played Jigalag. He probably played Jigalag's Incursion, I'm guessing. There's no other way to... Oh, he's getting the pieces. He's got 4 out of the 6 that he needs. That means there's 2 cards he doesn't have. Then might do coming with the most whack combos yet again. Yeah, I don't know how he... I mean, I guess, like, from what I can understand, most of them come from viewer recommendations. But yeah, they are the absolute craziest stuff. And they work! With my level of success rate, you know, at least 25% of the time. Or 20%, well, maybe 10% of the time. Still pretty good. Back in the 2010s when this game came out, it was an online card game craze. That's true, Baldric. That is true.
You are gracious.
I don't like the sound of that. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, it doesn't affect his combo none, but... Wow. Wow. I mean, the only way that doesn't sting as bad is, okay, it's a long shot anyway. The deck is a long shot to win, but that doesn't help too much. He can't target Nord. Yeah. Yeah. I misread the, or I missed that. I think I saw it, but it didn't register. I'll tell you folks, I think I'm going to say this to be charitable to myself. So I'm not putting myself down necessarily, but this may not be true. I'd like to think that I have a very capable brain when it is engaged, but for whatever reason, my brain does not engage a lot of the time. Like, I have to make a conscious effort to, like, there's wisdom and intelligence there to be tapped into, and it's not insignificant. However, if I do not consciously think I need to apply my brain to this situation now, I need to be smart about this, it doesn't happen. It doesn't just naturally, like with other people, it just naturally happens where they go, oh, yeah, I got a brilliant idea. For me, I have to make a conscious effort to think, otherwise my brain doesn't engage. It's just like, it's just sitting there, the wheels are, it's like in neutral. It's just in neutral, the engine's running, but unless I say, okay, engage, first gear, intelligence, ha! You of all people know that my brain doesn't do the braining thing sometimes when speaking. Well, okay. That's very true.
There's nowhere they can hide. The hunter becomes hunted. Protect the harbinger. I'll try to draw their fire.
But yes, Io, it's well, but there's one thing. There's a difference between having your mind's put forward the word and your mouth not getting the message properly, and you not actually processing information. Like there's no, like I don't think there's been a time where I've said, "Oh, I want to do this, this, and this," and you've been like, wait, what did you just do before? What was that?" Like, your brain's always engaged. It's always moving. It's just it's your mouth. It's this area right here. This translation of electrical impulses to audible sound that sometimes catches you by surprise. But I never once think, "Oh, his brain's turned off." I don't turn my brain off. It just doesn't turn on unless I make a conscious effort, which is horrible. But yeah, Baldric. So that was the thing. This came out. Beta was in 2016. This game came out in 2017, and Magic the Gathering Arena came out in 2018, I believe. So I mean, even just these two, and then I think Hearthstone was maybe a year before that, 2 years before that, maybe. I think actually, that's a good question. 24. Holy crap! 2014. So Hearthstone was way ahead of the game. Way, literally, no pun intended. Hearthstone came out in 2014. It was going to be 3 years until Tesla came out, and then another year before Magic Arena came out. And then who knows how many Gwent came out after Legends, I believe.
I'll try to draw their fire.
No, Gwent was 2017 as well. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Mid to late the 2010s, Baldric.
I will devour your soul, mortal.
It's a ton. And yeah, that could be right, Baldric. They could have just been trying to dip their toe into that. And then they realized maybe, as we were talking about, like, again, $1,000 for something that takes an artist, a week to do is nothing. I mean, that's not even adequate, really. I mean, to make a living off of, because that's, well, $4,000 a month. Okay. Actually, no, that's I've survived on a lot less than $4,000 a month. But it's still pretty rough.
I'll feast on your flesh.
It's but $1,000 and you think 3,000 cards, you can see how that scales. It's not like if you make a game, you might, okay, we're going to do a DLC here and there. But if you get into, like, I feel like and maybe this didn't happen, but it seems like these guys got into this and they're like, wait. Okay, so we spent, 200 grand, 250 grand maybe on the art and the music and the development and all this kind of stuff. We got that done. That should be it, right? And then maybe another 10 grand here or there to to keep it up and to do whatever. Oh no, it's going to be $1,000 per card. Maybe it's not the same expense, but I mean these cards have high art as well. A lot of really good art. But we'll just say $1,000 per artwork. So every new card we make is going to cost at least $1,000, just not in factoring the research and development that goes into it, the balancing that needs to happen, the updates, the releases, all that kind of stuff. So no, it's going to be in perpetuity. Like, in order to keep the game fresh, in order for a CCG to be continued to be alive and functioning, we need to put out a new set at least once a year, probably twice a year, of 20 cards at least, I guess is about the average, 20, 30, maybe 40 cards. And that's going to be 40 grand a pop just for the artwork alone. And then the voice lines, you got to pay voice actors. That's a whole thing. And then premiums. We've kind of set the standard. There's going to be premiums. We've got to have a graphic artist to animate these and add panache to them and everything. I think maybe there's a chance they just didn't realize what they were getting into in terms of how much they were going to have to spend to keep this thing going, to keep it fresh. Whereas, Skyrim, they're like, put it out and they'll mod the heck out of it. And make it relevant that way. Once this game officially dies, do we migrate to another dying CCG? Which one? Well, Jonas, that's part of the reason why I've been leaning towards Magic the Gathering Arena, because it doesn't seem like that one's dying anytime soon. Like, there are some that are already in remission. And this has been another. This might be another day for IO, man. I tell you, the last one, it was a no fun day. And this day seems to be of the similar fashion. I mean, to be fair, you are playing Spell Sword without it being heavy neutral. So you're kind of asking for it, Io. Who plays Spell Sword without factotums and workshop and Dwemer, you know? So you're you can't do it. And A-Ross looks like, well, no, wait. Hidden Trail, look at that. Hidden Trail giving some love. The poor man's divine fervor. But yeah, you're probably right, Baldric. That's where this game came from. Yeah, I was just saying, see, Kekajilek getting every answer unimaginable. Io, is that your version of like keyboard profile? Like just blah, 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 blah? Is that like your exclamation point, $, pound, pound, pound? Or is that actually a word in Celtic? I think, isn't that what you derive a lot of the language from in the game? That was Thin White Duke's previous opponent. Oh, okay, gotcha. Getting every okay. I thought that was just like instead of like an ASDF GH or something, you were just like getting every answer because your opponent was also getting every answer or had every answer. But yeah, it happened to be unfortunate enough that his name is largely unintelligible, at least to my eyes. I'm sure that is pronounced successfully in some language. Hail, Honey Badger. I just hopped in to say hi. I'm currently in Michigan visiting family, so I can't stay. Have a great stream. Hope to come in and chat more in the near future. Excellent, Honey Badger. Well, enjoy Michigan. Enjoy the family there. Safe travels to and from. Well, you already got there, I guess. But thanks for stopping by. And yeah, we will see you. We will see you the next time. And how dare you? I've been here since 3 o'clock doing this stream on Legends. How dare you come up an hour late and while I've been doing this for an hour or so. One of the long problems with Magic the Gathering is mana being in the deck. One of the long problems with Magic the Gathering is mana being in the deck, which is why none of the modern. Oh, I get you with the lands. Yeah, Underhill. Actually, that was my huge reluctance, and I mean I'll still say it. Like the idea that you can have a deck that just completely is dysfunctional. Like it's hard enough with the mana count in this game. The only thing I like about lands is the artwork is gorgeous. Like the lands, the landscaping, the different lands that they have, they're beautiful. Why are we just getting the absolute chattiest, jerkiest people? And they're all top 100 right now. What is going on? I don't know. But yeah, so I thought I was crazy, Underhill. Honestly, I thought I was crazy because I was like, this just seems, to quote, here we go. Let's go, Jonas. Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. But I was like, oh man, I wish I had the sound bite. But you know, have you ever seen Turbo? It has Samuel L. Jackson, Ryan Reynolds. It's about a snail that goes really fast. But he says, your trash talk is needlessly complicated. And that's what I felt like with land. I was like, because I by the time I got around to actually somebody sitting me down and showing me how to play Magic, I had already I'd already played Legends. And so I saw how it functioned just by getting 1 mana per turn unless you ramp. And I was like, this is needlessly complicated. Why do we have land? It's hard enough to play the cards you want to play. Even just getting 1 magic per turn. Why do we have lands? This seems very cumbersome. And half your deck, or you know, 20% of your deck is freaking lands. So it's a 60 card deck, but it's actually a 35 card deck, really, because all the rest of it is enabling, and it makes it so much. Then you have the problems where you're mana heavy, or you're card heavy. Like we already have that. Like there's a reason why a lot of people don't necessarily run a ton of item decks, because getting that balance of enough weapons enough items to actually enable the thing you're trying to do has to be married against, or you know, has to be measured against having enough creatures to play. Otherwise, you just get steamrolled, or you get silenced to death. You know. And so like that's hard enough as it is. Let alone, but so we already have that issue if you play certain decks. But with Magic, it's like every deck has that problem. Every deck can top end too much mana or too much whatever. I mean, you saw with that dragon deck. I added 2 one extra red and white, and one extra red, because I found myself, I'm like, with the bigger bodies of the dragons, I need to have that extra mana to be able to play the card that I didn't want to play. And yet, I still was mana short. I'm like, I can't. If you're supposed to have 24 and I go up to 26, I think 28's like the ceiling. I can't max that out for that kind of deck. It doesn't make any sense. But yet I'm continuously not drawing enough lands. And part of it you could say is the curve, which I understand does need to be adjusted. Well, up to Marvel Snap, of course. Ugnip just said they're bleeding players.
We must join forces.
So that's why, like, Marvel Snap, like Marvel, well, one thing, Marvel Snap and Pokemon Pocket are, as I say, mobile games. I'm not looking for a game to play when I'm on the back. I think my most profound thoughts when I'm on the crapper. So I don't want to be playing Pokemon or whatever on my phone, you know, on a mobile device. Which, I mean, obviously, you can drive from that. The only time I ever look at my phone is when I'm in the bathroom. That's the only time. I never look at it any other time. But, like, I don't want to. Like, I have... It's comfortable here. I like the setup. I like being able to do this kind of stuff. I mean, I can't stream that. I can't really do much with it. So I'm not particularly interested in those games myself. That doesn't mean nobody else can be or whatever. It's not my thing. So it would have... Ooh. Interesting. And just a reminder, folks, this is Arena, not normal. So you are seeing things like Hulking Scallon and... the Regen Dragon. I can't look at this art though. I mean, like I will say like there's some gorgeous art in Magic, but I would say the ratio of, and again, this is my incredibly biased opinion in terms of what good art looks like or quality. I mean, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Not good art, but just the detail, the depth, the shading, the coloring, the like all that kind of stuff. Like you blow some of these images up and they look gorgeous. The ratio. Oh, is this? No, he's gonna win. What? Wait, could he have done Healing Hands? If he had done Healing Hands, he could have. Oh, that's Fresh Start. Oh no, he could have done Ultimate Heist with Healing Hands. Oh no.
Bright moons.
Oh. Guitarist, no. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I did not turn my brain into first gear either. I can relate. And it's whatever reason I have the power. Like, well, okay. To be fair, folks, and you know this, if you watch when I watch streams enough or watch other people, when I spectate enough, a lot of the time I'm more engaged with the chat than I am with chatting than I am with the actual gameplay. But when I do watch, I was so only about to listen to the obvious lethal ad. But my point is, it's much easier for me to see lethal or me to see the options when I'm watching somebody else than if I'm actually playing it. So if I was in that exact same situation, I would have missed it 100%. But just the fact that I have this bird's eye view, this somewhat removed thing, it must be a psychological thing. So I apologize, Jonas, that the conversation was so engrossing and so engaging that it befuddled the mind to the point where, oh man, oh no matter. Well, I mean, it is true. The stakes, I hate to say it, the stakes have never been lower than they are right now in Legends. It's not like, oh, now I might not get all the card packs and I might not have enough gold to... Oh, wait. I have enough gold to do everything I want. Oh, hang on a second. I left my door open. As loud as I am, they will hear me if I don't close the door. 1 second. Sorry about that.
Fortune favor me.
Afraid of the forebears. The forebears love you. But yeah, these I will say, folks. Oh my gosh, Underhill. Oh my gosh, dude! Thank you so much. Holy cow!
A formidable display.
Wait, what is? Oh wait, wait. Oh wait. Top chat. Oh wait, hang on. I'm. There we go. Okay, so Underhill with $5. Thank you so much, Underhill. That is the second. I actually had Sound Engraver was the very first person that ever actually contributed to the channel. But a huge thank you so much. Holy cow, greatly appreciated. I mean, the thought alone, but then I mean that's I'm getting all. It's a very nice thing to say. It's a very nice thing. CCGs are analog micros. Okay, now I feel bad because don't spend any more. Like you can explain it. What do I? It has a bar that's going down. I don't. Be the first to reply. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something. Be the first to reply. Your message will appear here. I think I agree. Explain. I don't know. There's a little bar that's going down, and I don't know if that's. I did respond, right? Okay, there we go. Oh, and that only do that if that doesn't. I don't know how this works. I've never done it before, so if it requires more money, like you can just say it in the chat under. I'm making my way down. But thank you so much. That is just an incredible thing. Thank you so much. Cheers. I've wanted to actually try because I'm monetized, technically kind of monetized now, but so I was trying to think of there's like a members thing. I can't think of anything that I could offer members that I'm not doing now. Not because I don't want to, I just can't think of anything to make it worthwhile. Like, why would somebody pay 99 cents when they can get it for free? Because I don't. There's nothing else I can think to do. Because there's a lot of stuff that channels do where they have like behind the scenes stuff. That this isn't like that. But anyway, it's not about money. But thank you, Underhill, greatly appreciated. But yes, please. What is it? It's analog micros. That is a phrase I'm not familiar with. So I probably would not disagree, but I need to know a little bit more. Understand that a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, but I already tried it. Does blood usually go back in the veins once it's bled out? Wait a minute. What are we talking about? I missed something here. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the last comment from Underhill was about the mana being in the deck, and I agree. That's something. Oh, like I said though, I'm kind of willing to overlook it because the artwork is gorgeous. I would love to get full prints of some of the artwork just of the land. In fact, I bought 2 cards. They're only like 99 cents. On eBay you can find them for like 99 cents, and the shipping is like 25 cents or something. But just buying lands because they're beautiful. Like and again, they're tiny, but they look really cool. That has kept them from my complete disdain. But yeah, they are. What? Oh, Baldric. So Baldric said something. Oh, wait. Well, Marvel Snap, of course. Ugnip just said they're bleeding players. Okay, gotcha. If I've already left the game behind, I am the blood and I won't return. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, look at, okay, so Jonas waxing, not theological, but it sounds very like one of those sage, like, proverb things. Especially when you ask it, put it into the question, Jonas. It sounds very much like a teacher. Yes, but I already tried it. Does blood usually... Well, actually, it wouldn't say usually. It was, does blood go back... No, I must ask you. Does blood go back into the veins once it is bled out? Or once it is bled? It has to sound kind of old Englishy a little bit. Is it common for blood to go back into the veins once it has departed? No, sir. In the same sense, I too shall not return. Yes, indeed. What do you mean, am I streaming? Of course I'm streaming, Tusk. What day and what time is it, sir? And then Baldric with a slightly less philosophical answer. Well, you can try to slurp it. We can try, so slurp it back in. Ew, it was right, exactly. Baldric, yep, still coming, still recovering from a mighty smiting of the flu. Which CCGs has Schwar tried? We tried Eternal. It's apparently an open source CCG called Archmage that I know nothing about. Interesting. Archmage? So I tried Eternal, and what do you say? I saw something about a Yu-Gi-Oh! I made that Singleton deck faster. Feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! When it goes off. OPAF. Let me... But yeah, so we tried Eternal, and I kind of stopped after that just because a lot of the feedback I got very, not vehemently, but very adamantly was, it looks like a kid's game. The art looks like Hearthstone. Not interested in that. There were a lot of people that just kind of were just like, nope, not interested. Not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying it was kind of a hard pass just on the artwork alone. So it's like, well, that probably rules out Pokemon. That rules out Marvel. That rules out pretty much all of them. And then like Gwent, which would have similar artwork to this, is also in the same state that this game is in. So it just didn't seem like there were really going to be any high viable options based on the feedback that I got just on Eternal, which may not be fully fair, but holy cow, 9 Parth and 5 Alduin. Wow. Holy cow. I might recommend Legends of Runeterra. Don't know the state of it now, but I had fun with it while taking a break from playing Tessel. So that would not be putting the blood... Your blood has not left Legends of Runeterra. I'll watch a game. I'm still trying to catch up with the discussion. So yeah, if Tusk wants to jump on, we can take a gander at that. Cool. All right, you gonna fire it up? Archmage, open source card game, right? Okay. Okay. It seems Underhill to have a little bit of that vibe you were talking about, like Magic. Like it looks very kind of like a Humble Beginnings type thing. There he goes. So we're going to see, in theory, this could be, in Tusk's words, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Type turnout, where he ends up with 9 Parthenax and 5 Alduins. I'm guessing / thinking it might not be like the loop we talk about. I think he said it's a singleton. Which, there it is. It is absolutely a singleton. We got Archmage and Legends of Runeterra. I remember hearing about Legends of Runeterra as well.
On your guard.
I'll whip them into shape.
I will say though, Jonas, very much the art is very much like Eternals. So I'm not saying that from my perspective, like that I wouldn't be down with it. I'm just saying that the vibe that I was getting for in general is, yeah, so Runeterra looks very much, it actually looks more like Hearthstone, I think, than than Eternals did. So you kind of got like a bit like that. Now that's not completely typical. You got a little bit more of that. It's based on. Goodness gracious me. It's based on the same universe as League of Legends. Okay, there you go. That makes sense because League of Legends is. League of Legends. No. Dota's the one that spun off directly. It was a mini map from Warcraft 3 that then became a thing, and I think League of Legends was not a clone. Maybe it's fair to say clone, but similar thing. So it makes sense that the card game would look kind of like Hearthstone as well, in that way. But that is interesting. I don't know anything about League of Legends.
My last battlefield.
Yeah, the mana in the deck creates an uncontrollable RNG factor that can or almost always does impact victory. I was thinking, am I crazy? But they I don't want to say it, but it's like when people talk about Magic, they talk about it authoritatively. When I hear them talk about decks or wins, as if there's so much control in it. Like, and granted there is to a degree, but a lot of it was, like one of them I was like, obviously it was called the luckiest guy in Magic, and it talked about a guy who drew the one card, the only card I think in his deck essentially that could counter this one thing, and it was a hard counter. But then his opponent drew the one counter to that counter, and it was like it had nothing to do other than having them in the deck. It really didn't have much to do with how they played. It was really the difference between a winner and a loser. $10,000 I think at the time. We going home with $10,000 and a win as a champion, enshrined forever in Magic the Gathering lore, and none of that is did you top deck the card that you needed at the right time? Which, that's not unique, I don't think, to that, but it is the purview of these card games. No worries. There is millimeters of a difference between a happy face and a smiley face. You better be very careful with those emojis. In earlier sets of Magic, this was overcome by every color having early game ways to generate mana. This caused other problems with games swinging wildly. I'm guessing, Underhill, like that was a problem with Black Lotus, which is interesting. So, if you think about it, when they first came up with Black Lotus as developers, or the developer, I guess it was just Garfield, right? I think that was the original guy. When he was coming up with it, Black Lotus, he didn't think it was an overpowered card. He didn't think anything about it. It was just Black Lotus. It was a card. So, in theory, that was made to offset, as you say, the problem with understanding that lands are a bit of an issue, or can be a bit of an issue, and slow the game down or bog the game down. So he made that card to offset that. But then when you say, okay, it's too strong, we have to take it out, it doesn't seem like anything was done to correct the problem or the potential problem that the card was created to address. So obviously at some point he didn't think that a 0-cost 3-mana card was going to be an issue. And it was created probably because they were sitting around playing, and he was like, well, I can't play anything past the turn. Okay, I got to land. Still can't play anything past the turn. And it's like, oh, we need a card that actually kind of accelerates that process a little bit. And that part's true. But just because the Black Lotus was overpowered, maybe you just do a 0-cost 1, or, the idea of, I don't know. But I don't know enough about it to really go too much on a tangent, but I do know that I'm happy that somebody else who plays the game at least sees that aspect of it, because I've kind of wondered. I'm like, this just seems very cumbersome, needlessly so. Pokemon, the card game, has a similar mana problem. Pokemon Pocket fixed this by making your energy generated every turn instead of needing to be drawn from deck. So they Tesselfied it. First I was afraid, I was Tesselfied, thinking I could never live without you by my side. Apologies. Magic could fix it by having a mana deck and a card deck. Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I guess I'm wondering what would... I mean, now I have not yet... My understanding is at the outset of Magic, there were a lot of cards that could take mana away. Banish mana, destroy mana, send it back to your hand. They had a lot of destroy mana cards that they don't really have that much anymore. So I think if there's not going to be a way to negatively impact mana to take that away, I would say why not just have it where it produces each turn? You kind of like something like Tessel. I'm just wondering what the benefit of it is. Like, what does it allow you to do? Loving Singleton, it's good. You're doing good with it, Tusk. And by the way, that's Commander in Magic the Gathering speak. Magic could physically by having a mini deck, but it would fundamentally change the game. Like shuffle your mana and play one each turn, but so many cards have mechanics that use the old way. Yeah, that's what I would think that it's too far. They're too far down. Worth repeating again. CCGs are analog micros. Let's see. Does we have? Super Chat just donates and highlights a single message for a time. Okay, gotcha. Membership is channel support, and people see it that way.
Nicely
Okay.
done.
Well, then maybe I'll try something with membership. I don't know. I mean, honestly, folks, I hear in my head.
Nicely done.
I'm not trying to sound crazy, but like when I think about the channel, when I think about what else can I do, what more can I make, what can I do about it? Because Jonas, we talked about that too. Like, hey, you need to get out there more and do stuff. And I'm like, and the words keep coming back, and I know some people kind of go, okay, it's no religious context, just the phrase "you ask not because you have not because you ask not." And I've been hearing that over and over again. I'm like, but it feels weird to ask. It feels really weird to ask, especially if you're not offering something of exponential value, you know. But it's not demanding. I'm not going to paywall anything, but I might try that and be like, hey, I mean, I know they do badges and stuff. Maybe I'll do T-shirts. I don't know. I could think of something, but I might try. Just put it out there. But I knew they were a little bit different Underhill, but I wasn't. Like I said, the monetization thing happened relatively recent, and even then, the channel's not fully monetized because we don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. That allows actual video monetization, but that's. And wow, we got a disconnect from Bees. Not to be confused with Body Bag Beezy, who has far too much integrity and fortitude to do something like this. Yeah, I've been playing some Pokemon Pocket recently, and they too have made some. They have made mana an automatic draw each turn rather than shuffled into your deck. Like before Horse Armor, there were packs of cards. Hey, Beowulf, what's going on? Like before Horse Armor, there were packs of cards, right? My understanding, Horse Armor isn't it notorious for being in an Elder Scrolls game where you could pay as a microtransaction, you could pay money to get the horse armor, but it was just a cosmetic. And people are outraged by this, and then now we're in the time we're at now. That's my only reference to horse armor, other than that Baldric was really big on horse armor until he realized it's absolutely worthless now, in Legends anyway. Derelot does members, special emoticons in chat, member-only videos, etc. Okay. Memes. A good win. If not a clean one. With what is it called? It's not mono. Singleton. Yeah, I'll look into the emoticon. I like honestly that I mean this is where my own like I look at that kind of stuff and I'm like who cares about emoticons? Like who does anybody really like I in my mind, because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm like I'd use them, you know, if I got them occasionally, but like I'm not like I gotta have my like yeah. But I guess that's more of a it's not you're paying for the emoticon. It's more like that's a token to say thank you for supporting. Here's a little something. It's not commensurate. It's not like saying, hey, this 99 cents, you know, is how you pay for this emoticon. It's just thank you so much for your patronage, and here's some emoticons to use as a thank you. You could highlight members, do special videos with them, allow them to vote on content. That was one thing I was thinking of too, Beowulf, was, wait a minute, what's going on? Why isn't there a turn timer? Okay. I summoned it. You see, I summoned it. I summoned the turn by asking for it. Oh, really? Dano going for rank 1, eh? But yeah, if you're still looking at CCGs to try out, Legends of Runeterra is worth at least checking out once. All right, fair enough, guitarist. We may, it's free to play, I'm guessing. Dano's currently top 100. Going for top 10. Well, going for number 1, actually. Interesting how he's able to split his time, Dano, between ranking up in Magic the Gathering and also coming in number 1 in Legends. That's almost like being able to specialize in 2 sports. Almost, except for the sports aren't all that dissimilar, but dang. Impressive. Since he's also ranking in all right, we'll check back in with Thin White Duke Star. But yeah, I need to yeah, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of this actually no, you know, I got my little notepad here, my digital notepad. There we go. That just has people's screen names for Magic on it, and some phrasing. But let's see. Emoticons. Member only videos. Spotlights. On channel content. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see about rolling those out for maybe next week. Again, nothing that I'm doing now is going to end up behind a paywall. Like, there's not going to be anything that right now that the amount of content you get, none of that's going to go behind any kind of a paywall. It would be extra stuff, or if you just want to support for the sake of support. But again, that's not the focus. This was always, well. Anyway, I appreciate the conversation about it. I just don't want that to be what all the discourse end up being about, just because we're here for the games and for the community and my
with our Lord.
Yeah, it's just something I work through. But I'll tell you, I take all the advice to heart, and we'll definitely look into doing that. My friend and I a few years ago wanted to play Magic again, so we just started printing cards in black and white and put them in sleeves with lands. Hey, there you go. Lotus was always a bad design, but it was one of the first things of its kind, so it's forgivable in the earlier sets. Yeah, it just makes me wonder, Underhill, like, overall, I'm guessing the game was pretty balanced, more or less. So it just makes you wonder how, like, so they obviously play tested it. So how did that card get through?
Believers shall flock to our noble
But yeah, there's actually, so I mean, this isn't quite the same thing, but there are people on Etsy. I don't think I've seen a manufacturer yet that does all the cards. But like, I have a Black Lotus. It is a reprint, and it shows like it's there are things on it that make it clear it is not. They call it a proxy. It's not a replacement. It's not meant to look like the real thing. You can't pass it off. At a glance, you could tell. I think even the card back actually has like the people stamp on it, whatever. So you can put it in a sleeve and it looks fine. You can play with it, and it looks real enough, and it feels like a card, but it's not. They're not trying to make it look like it's its own thing. But I got it just for the but it's like $4, and it's but it's kind of like I guess a tribute to the legacy of it, because there's no way I'm gonna buy an actual Black Lotus, one that I can't play, and two that I have spent thousands of dollars on, but just to have like kind of like a representation of the art. But yeah, it makes me wonder about like people like doing that, like people printing off their own thing, or you know, finding a way to kind of replicate it without, again, not trying to resell it or anything as some, you know, some accurate thing, but just as a way to play the game without having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the original pieces. So not quite exactly what you're doing, Underhill, but I thought that was an interesting concept. But yeah, I have not found anybody yet who's it's like they're doing center pieces or cards that are typically very high in value that people would want proxies for. My understanding is like with a proxy, you can say, here's my card, here is the actual real Black Lotus. I'm now going to put it back in my vaults for my kids' future and my Lamborghini. And here is my proxy that I'm going to use instead of it, because I don't want to put any wear and tear on that one.
Speak, citizen.
Baldrick says, I do that even now. I put a printed proxy into decks to see if it's good in the deck. Only if it shows to be decent in it, I buy the card. Oh, okay, I see what you're going, Baldrick. Which is something that there were people, when I was reading feedback on the arena, a lot of people, like there were people were saying it would be nice if you could dust cards, if for no other reason. Like right now, and I agree with this 100%, the way the resources are in the game right now, it discourages experimentation. Like I was in the game for like a week before I dared to craft my first card, because I'm like, what if I craft the card and I realize, I don't like this? And I think in my Dragon deck, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 at least cards that I actually crafted that aren't going to get played. I'm scared of that. Because almost all the dragons are legendary, are rares, which are the one step down. They're epic, you know. They're one step down from legendary type thing, mystic. But yeah, but it's like you can't just put a deck together and go, all right, well that didn't pan out the way I thought it would. Like if you want to try something out, at least on the online version, you have to invest the money, and if it turns out to be a card that just sucks totally, no, then you're out. Then you're out that opportunity. Fallen Empires and the Dark were attempts to correct the balance, which is why the cards seem weak. Oh, okay.
I smell the stench of the living.
Are those the 94 releases? Mads, hello, welcome. Good to see you again. I speak with the voices of the Night Mother. I speak with the voice of the Night Mother. We must protect the Night Mother. Ejo speaks for the voice of the Night Mother. Just went off with Ulfric's Uprising and Speaker Tyrannus. So many Mechanars, so many Zargos. Get wrecked. That sounds beautiful, Joseph, but this is the second time that we've been told about an awesome game that one of our friends have had that we missed. I don't know who to watch anymore. Apparently we missed Joe doing some... I mean, well, to be fair, and Jazargo. Well, actually, Mechanar and Jazargo. We don't see a lot of those anymore. I'm glad we still don't see Haskill. That even when people can afford every single legendary in premium and everything else, nobody's playing freaking... I hate that guy.
It's okay. Stay behind me.
Before there was even mana burn, all the way to 2010 or something like that, all the mana you got but didn't use in a phase would deal you 1 damage. What? All the way to 2010, all the mana you got but didn't use in a phase would deal you... Wow. Or was it a turn? In a turn, I forgot. Probably in a turn. Made big plays a little harder. Blue was really strong at times. Well, yeah, because don't you, in theory... I'm guessing it would be to the end of your turn because counter spells are a thing, right? So you might, if you're blue or whoever, if you've got a counter spell in your hand and like it's like, okay, I can put an extra creature on the board, or I can bank on my opponent trying to screw with what I'm trying to do, and I've got my counter ready. But so I'm leaving that mana on the table until it's his turn.
My honor.
I'm guessing.
Who's there? Halt, I say.
I think it was if you didn't spend it till your turn ends. Okay, that would make more sense. I mean to say about micros. Before micros in video games. Oh, you mean microtransactions. Okay, gotcha. I thought you were like, we're talking like macros and micros. Like, yeah, it sounded much more complicated than I thought it was. Before micros in video games, there were packs of cards at the store. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's... I guess the only difference would be a lot of the micros are cosmetics, which, to be fair, as somebody who bought one thinking I was buying the card, but foolishly not realizing the truth until too late, that, like, yeah. But I mean, the point is valid though. You pay to play. It's not pay to win, but you pay to play. But I think that was, to me, also when I did hear about Magic, I think the person that I heard it from was they told me that, you know, about the cycling of the cards. So like, so wait, you buy the card, you own the card, but that doesn't mean you get to play with it the entire time. Like you might own the card and not be able to. I mean, goodness gracious, we are getting the dregs here, folks. The absolute dregs. I don't know what it is about the announcement, but you just got a myriad of people just going, all right, well, let's just be our worst selves here. Fui to spectate. It is a bit sweaty, to be honest. I mean, it looked good when he played it, but yeah, Reanimate Dragon is a bit... Here we go. All right, C-City. Ulfric's Uprising. Let's see that magic again. If it doesn't happen, then you are not speaking with the voice of the Night Mother. I think also in like video games, in theory, you're not missing out on anything with, like it should be with the video game, at least as far as I'm thinking. You should be able to play it, like the core of the video game, like all the pieces of it, without the transaction, without the microtransactions. Those are just there to enhance, maybe. Whereas like with Magic, to be fair, I mean, I guess you could just play with the same deck. You know, they have starter decks, I think, right? Like physical starter decks where you pay X amount and you get a deck that you can play that is viable. So I guess that is, you know, it is an extra thing. It's if you want more options, if you want to explore more options, if you want to.
Exactly what I was looking for.
I bet it was you. Mundus Stone using Do-Fi. Alright, look at that. Holy cow. Got Drain on the big bodies. That's it. Bandar's going, suck. That's Heart of the Cards right there, by the way, folks. That is Joe's signature move. I need Drain, Game. Game says, happy to oblige, Joe. The heart can't save you now. Alright, well, kind of did, but not long term.
Lead me into battle.
Let's see. Oh, Tusky. You had lethal before playing Siege. No wonder your opponent rage quit. Oh, did he really? Oh. Well, I mean, to be fair, IO, that's rage quit. I mean, wait. Did he rage quit or he roped? He roped, though, didn't he? Oh, geez. I guess we should have seen that coming. Does he have silence on the board? He does not.
This one is destined for greatness.
I guess he could Abner Parthenax. Oh no, he could Abner Laneth and get... Well, there's no silence. I'm sure he's got some nefarious RNG thing. More uprising. Mm. Oh, there you go. Jeez. The membership benefits are just icing. The main money goes to show support, even better when it's free. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, just not, I'm not going, hey guys, gonna do it, but it's just like, okay, why not put it out there and see, you know, see what transpires.
That's all true emperors must.
Yep, horse armor was one of the first to start the avalanche of microtransactions. What was absurd to me is that there were 3 free mods like that already. Really? Huh. I was like, why would I pay for it? I can download several horse armors from Nexus and similar sites, but I forgot console players don't have the luxury. Very true, Baldric. Very true. We are an undeveloped nation. I think Bandari knew somehow that Sea City. Ulfric's Uprising, folks. It's good in a lot of things. Okay, that sounded like a really half-hearted endorsement, but I'm very serious. All right, let's see. Oh, guitars. Here we go. I think of it this way. If I enjoy someone's content on a regular basis, do I have enough money worth of one coffee a month? I do. Well, that settles it then. It never stopped being a thing to me. I kind of want to do some kind of... what's the pilfer card? The 3/3 that gains all the pilfer cards? What is that? The 3... wait. Cereal? No. No, oh. 6 cost. Right, I know what he's talking about. No. Oh, yeah, okay. Interesting. Well, Beowulf, thank you very much for that. I mean, I call it the vote of confidence, the vote of reason, the vote of... I guess it is kind of a vote of confidence. Hey, it's not crazy to put that out there. In my head, you know, the whatever it is in there goes, dude, you're gonna get laughed out of the building. People might just think you're a ham. You know, like why are you doing this? Why are you even bothering? So that's just perception. So good to have a ray of truth coming in and go, okay, I'll make it so, folks. I will make it so. I'll figure out how to get emoji cons or whatever. If I can make them myself, which I think I can, because I made them for Discord. If it's the same kind of process, I'll make a crap ton of them. For Legends, for Magic, for anything, really. Because if it is like Discord, they're not that hard to make. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They're very hard to make. It's time-consuming. But I'm willing to do it for the members. Yeah. The way I see it, I want YouTube to value content that I want to see, so I don't see ads, but I donate at times, and YouTube gets a big part of that. Yeah, I think that it's 30%. I think is what they get. At least off of, I think, super chats and like if it gets to the point where the videos are monetized, I think they get 30% of that too. I use Brave for YouTube, no ads ever, so nice. Yeah, Beowulf, I had been using that for a while too. I think I stopped recently. But I had like if it like
Taste my steel.
I'll do it in hand, jeez. Like if I was like gonna try to go to sleep or something and I was gonna have content playing or something, I might do that if it's like 30 minutes or something. Just so that I'm not getting woken up because a lot of times the commercials come on and they're so loud. But for the most part, really enjoyed Darylot's Valor videos, so I became a member. I wonder how much YouTube gets of the subscription, but I presume it's fair they get some after all without the platform. Right, exactly. Me and Underhill had a conversation about that. It's which Jonas jumped in and was like, "Here's the thing," and he sent me a meme of it, but I haven't been able to read the fine print. But yeah, the balance of what the content provider, what the artist, what the whoever brings to the table versus what the channel, the host, the venue, whoever brings to the table as well, and you know how much of the percentage and all that kind of stuff. It was quite an engaging discussion. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, I don't mind YouTube getting a part, and I mean, and it makes it easier if you say, okay, we get 30, because I think it's 30% is what they get. If they had come in saying 15, and then they kept creeping it up, then you start going, okay, wait a minute. But like me going into it, I'm going, okay. I mean, 70% is more than what I'm making right now anyway. So, but I mean, if there are other platforms that offer better, I think Rumble does. I think it's down to 20%, but it also has far fewer eyes. So it's kind of a trade-off there. The only people that don't want you playing with proxies are the store owners. Yeah, and I wouldn't be doing that with like modern, like contemporary cards, because I mean, obviously, if you're going to play the game, you want to support the game, and it would be a kind of a spit in the face to go into a card shop and be like, "Hey, here's a bunch of cards I got." Now, granted, $4 a proxy, that's still more than the average cost of the cards, but that really defeats the argument. Because you're saying, okay, I bought a bunch of proxies at $4 a piece, so $240 for this deck, when I could have probably bought enough packs to build the deck myself. But yeah, it's just like old cards, and I would never play with a proxy anyway, because I think a proxy can only be played if you actually own the real card. You have to be able to prove that you own the real card. I think, like maybe in a tournament or something. Like I don't think anybody could come in with, even if they're very professional looking, a Black Lotus, and be like, you know, in that specific tournament, and be like, hey, I want to play. It's a $4 card I got. Like I'm doing it. It's more for as a display piece or just to look at, because I did the same thing. There was the Joe Montana rookie card. There's a guy on Etsy who makes football card things, and so it's an illusion. But when you put it in the case and everything, like I actually got the cases right here. I mean, not the card, but you know, you put it in one of the little cases things. It makes you. It's like not counterfeiting, but a simulation of the experience of holding a card that is like, you know, I've been looking at it, you know, if in under glass and in different, you know, different situations. Like, this is a Joe Montana rookie card. Whoa, it's like the holy grail, especially for kids in my generation. So to actually have it in your hand, even though it doesn't matter that it's not the real thing, because I'm not looking at it as a financial thing. It's just the myth, the legend is here in my hand. Same thing with the Black Lotus. Like, just to have it in my hand and look at it and go, wow, this is what it would be like to have it. Other than, you know, I can't sell it. It's not like when you smell it, it's not going to smell like 1993. So you don't get that full experience. But yeah, Dark and Fallen Empires were 94 apparently. Okay. So yeah, so they took a year. They course corrected. But overcorrected, perhaps. I was watching. Underhill, you were the one. Were you the one who recommended, or was it? Oh man, I'm so bad with names. The gentleman who was talking, who actually has a channel and everything. Actually, I can find that out in a second because I just Keggy, I think it was. History. How does it not show up in my history? YouTube, you suck. I was watching the video. How is it not in history? What a weird thing. Oh, Kebby. There it is. Kebby G. I don't know if it's you or Kebby G, but you recommended Goldfish. The Magic the Gathering Goldfish, I guess. But he had a video that was on, like, it was like an hour long on the most hated Magic cards of like from every single year. And it was kind of the same thing. He was like, okay, yeah, there's like for the first 2 or 3 years there were hated cards, and there was like a lull, or maybe it was the first year, and then the second or third year there was a lull, and like they were just kind of cards, and then it ramped back up again, which would kind of think overlap with the timeline you were referring to. But yeah, so we've got Legends of Runeterra. And I think as far as a non-mobile game, that's probably the last one. And if it's free to play, Jonas, then I'm happy to take a gander at it, put it on the channel and see. It's hard though. It's like there's a lot of things in my life, like swing dancing. I am a horrible dancer, horrible in general, just a bad dancer. I actually got a gig at a dinner theater where I had to sing and dance, which how in the heck I think it was. I don't know how I got it, to be honest. I don't know how I got it. I know I auditioned, but I don't usually audition for musicals because I can't sing or dance. But I was one of the backup guys, and I could do, because we had some of the dance moves were a little bit physical. We had to do some swings and some whatever. Anyway, bottom line is, if I got the choreography and I work my butt off, I can pass it off well enough for a dinner theater performance, which is about as low as you can get, performance wise, in the grand scale of theatrical productions. But other than that, if I don't have it to rehearse, I'm not a good dancer. But I loved back in, I think it was, 96, between 96 and probably 2001, maybe a little bit more or less than that. The swing became a thing, or not swing. What was it? Ska. Well, ska and swing. They kind of made a little bit of a mini resurgence, and so you had people in zoot suits, you had people in the suspenders with the spats and the whole thing. I love the aesthetic. I love the look. I like dressing it. I had a zoot suit, a white pinstripe, a white zoot suit with black pinstripes. I had the two-tone wingtip shoes. Because I love the look. I got into it. I got excited for it. I like the music, and I like going, to the events and everything. But I never danced because I couldn't dance. Like, it was like I tried. There was a gal who I was trying very much. I wanted it to. She invited me to a dance of hers. And that's how much I cared about this gal. I actually was willing to go to a dance. I've turned down people just because I didn't want to go to my senior prom. I was like, I hate dancing. Why would I go to a prom? But her, I was willing to do it with. And so I asked my friend, who actually happened to be an amazing swing dancer, if I came over, if he would spend like a day and a half just teaching me how to do a few basic swing steps, because I was pretty sure at that dance they were going to have it. And so we did. We worked on it for 3 or 4 hours. He was teaching me different moves, different basics. We were doing the whole thing. And not only did they never play a song that you could swing to respectively, but she ended up not being worth it anyway. In the end, it didn't even matter. We'll put it that way. And that's still a GG.
Meet your doom.
Oh, Schmandy must have irked Eros during the play that we didn't see. I mean, Poopstone is enough to get a lot of people aggravated, but for Eros, I think it was probably more than that. That's kind of a default I've seen. We've come across some folks who have who've been a little, friends that have seemed to be a little salty, a little more emoji prone, and usually we find out, oh, the person was roping me or they were taunting at the beginning, something we didn't see necessarily. What determines value is the meme? The answer is it's subjective. Oh, there you go, guitars. Well, yeah, no, I saw, but like there's fine print, Jonas. There was like, this person says this, yeah, this person says this, and then there was like somebody who came in the middle, like the Australian guy. G'day, mate. I'm from Austria. Where Germany is. Oh, crikey. Sprechen Sie Deutsch and all that. Yeah, I'm a native Austrian. No different, really. We're exactly the same. Geography may be a little bit different, but otherwise we're exactly like doing. That's why our names are so similar. Let's see. Alduin in hand. All right, Thin White Duke, Aros, Sword of Gem. Sword of Gem. Sword of Gem? Sword of Gem.
Don't count me out yet. Ready to move out.
Not looking great. 11, 16, 26. Still alive right now. This guy's going to drain for a bunch. Not a lot. I mean, if they're all movement cards, he's screwed.
This one has been
The loot has become very popular. Does he have 6, 10, 13? He is 6 points off. Probably support monk. Ooh, ban this man. Ban the man. He'll get banned in 2 months anyway. Yeah, Joseph, but you can't call that justice if that's all. Everybody's getting banned. Dremulok? Dremulok? Oh, Dremulok. Greetings. And there's my CCG. Yes, which I'm going to be playing tomorrow. Although I will say, well, I guess it's the fact that I'm new, that I don't know the rules, that it's going to take an hour. But I was going to say, if a game is guaranteed to take at least 45 minutes to an hour, that may be a little bit of an adjustment. Because even Magic the Gathering, I think you have to be playing a commander deck for the games to potentially go like more than an hour. None of us are on the exclusive list? What's the exclusive list? I may stream it tomorrow on Discord. Okay, cool. That'll work. Yeah, let other people see, for sure. Ooh, a box of current Magic cards. The answer appears to be 100 or 300. What?
Don't count me out yet.
Wait. Like,
Ready to move.
yeah, no, I think, yeah. So, like, if you go on, like, well, eBay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you go on eBay. What the new one is Foundations. Okay, of course you've got the gougers out there, you know, whatever. Oh, there's actually... Okay, so I'm seeing... Is this what you mean? Oh, I don't want to cover up Sword of Gem there. But, like... So, it looks like you can get... I don't know, when you say a box, I'm not sure. But, Bundle 9, Play Booster. So, like, it's like $55. Now, that's from Italy. I'm not even sure. Do we have any in America? Australia, Italy. Japanese. But I'm guessing that's not a box. These are just booster packs or something. Beginner box. Maybe they're just beginner boxes. Oh, look at this, guys. What a deal. You can get one pack of cards for $6 and pay $55 to ship it from Italy. I mean, to be fair, it may cost that much to ship, but I don't know that you can put $55 as an amount and be like, yeah, that'll sell. I mean, it probably isn't. It probably changes it based on your location. So if he's selling it to somebody in Italy, it may be $1. They're like, yeah, if you're going to try to send this to freaking America, yeah, it's going to cost you $60. So, hey, if people are willing to pay for it, they're willing to pay for it. But I think you're right, though. I think I saw actual, like, boxes of cards, well, unopened, that were going for $100 to $200. Oh, I'll give Sword of Gem a GG there. Support monk. Ooh, ban this man. Wow, so Schward got the invite, not me. Wait, what are we talking about? Exclusive club, I got the invite. What invite? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about the game. You're talking about the, yeah, Joe, I'm a celebrity, you understand? If there is a hog, I am riding high on it, my friend. I stand among the elite. Try that again, take 2. I stand among the, okay, amongst. I stand amongst the elite. Oh, I didn't notice it was you. Oh, come now. I'm crafty. Only inviting noobs so you can beat them down. It's a box of booster packs? Oh, okay. But don't buy from Italy. The cards are localized. They're in Italian. Ah, benissimo. Prego. I think that means you're welcome. Oh, no, that's a thank you, right? Prego? Prego, thank you? I don't know. At this point, I think it's more financially responsible to just commit to armed robbery. You'll lose like 10 years of income, but it'll still save you money on the long run for Magic cards. Very true. Very reasonable, assuming you clean the whole store. Clean out the whole store. Yeah. That's why I'm buying cards that resonate with me from an artistic level. More or less. I'm not really paying attention too much to... Or like, I got a copy of Jace the Mind Sculptor because it was the card that not too long ago, I think, because it wasn't completely banned or it was banned in certain things. It was one of those high cost cards. It wasn't near Black Lotus status, but it was a pretty expensive card. But because of whatever changes have happened, I don't know exactly what, reprinting, I'm not sure, but the cost came down to like $10. And I was like, hey, like when I the first thing I remember learning about Magic the Gathering were the rare cards, which was Black Lotus and Jace the Mind Sculptor. Those were the two that I remembered. So that's why I was all excited about Jace, because I'm like, there's a name I know from Magic the Gathering. And Black Lotus, you know, I know that name too. Yay, I know names.
Let's see your fighting stance. Let's make the ancestors proud.
I really wish their voice lines would get cut off by a scream of anguish when they trade. Let's make the ancestors. Oh gosh! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! I slayed you, not the other way around. You could print the whole Tesla set for like $500. Well, that's what. Apparently, I'm not gonna say who. I'm pretty sure I'll know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to put it on it. Well, Ugnip. Apparently, he knows. I don't know if he knows a guy who he knows of a guy who was thinking about possibly willing to work. The problem was the guy's in Germany, and so all the cards were going to be local to Germany, so it was going to be all in German, of course, or Australian, however you want to think of it that way, I suppose. But yeah, and it was going to cost something like that, which to me is borderline prohibitive. I mean, if not outright prohibitive, just like it would be something if the guy was like, look, now, hopefully, in theory, because printing, is one of the many things that if you do it in bulk, it gets cheaper for the printer. So in theory, if it would be like, hey, we got 10 people going in, maybe you get it for $400 or $450 or something. But then you still got to ship them, which is probably another $100 to ship a big box of cards. It's 3,000 cards, I think, right? So yeah, it may not be feasible for a reasonable sum. Like you were saying, finding people to play with would be incredibly difficult. The only thing I could see that would be good about it would be like a live event, which still sucks because we have people from all over the world that there's no way we could meet somewhere that somebody's not having to take an overseas flight. And I think most of you at this point are Europe. So it would be the smart player, the smart thing would be to go somewhere in Central Europe to do it. But one, there would still be people that couldn't make it even in Europe, and then we do have some of the fellow Americans and our friends to the north who probably wouldn't be able to make it out there. But that would be the dream, in my whimsical, fanciful thinking, dreaming, whatever. It's find like a tavern, which you guys have to have those in Europe, right? In the UK and stuff, you've got to have like these old medieval like taverns or whatever that have been kind of converted a little bit to modern sensibilities, but mostly they still are like lit by candlelight and have a roaring fire. Oh, that would be so awesome, wouldn't it? Like think of the Prancing Pony from Lord of the Rings, like a setting like that with ale and bread and cheese and whatever, and literal actual Tesla cards, and actually having like 5 or 6 games kind of going on these tables, and you'd have you could have just set up maybe 3 cameras, a GoPro far up, no fisheye, just wide, and then somebody on like a glide cam or I mean, you don't even need them now, but just somebody doing like close-ups and stuff, and then like a camera just kind of maybe looking down the table at the rows of players. and being able to get all that and just recording it, just that would be so freaking awesome. And just like have it be like we start at like 2 in the afternoon until about 4 maybe is the meet and greet. Hey, how you doing? You know, get acclimated and everything. And then from like 4 until midnight is playing, and then maybe there's like a rest, and then some more playing until the sunlight comes up, and then we all go home and pass out and call it a night. That would be freaking fantastic. But there's about, I don't know, $1 billion between here and there, and logistics out of the wazoo. That's what I had to learn at a very young age. You can dream big, but doggone, it's hard to pull off with dreams and rainbows. And well, I ate all the gummy bears, otherwise I'd use them as currency as well. But overall, unspent rainbows and dreams aren't going to make it. K Fluffy and Shake It Baby are both printing the set. Oh, once they're done, you can just ask them and they'll give you the exact price, I'm sure. Awesome. I did not know they were doing that. I would definitely want to see that, because if they're blurry, if the card stock is kind of thin or whatever, I might not. But if they look legit, if they're as good, if not better, than kind of what they showed us, because you all saw those cards that they released. It was like one pack of like 10, I think. It has Brynjolf and Black Dragon, and there's like some. They look pretty nice. They're based on the old aesthetic, and they're too long. They're actually like you can't put them in normal card holders, but they look nice. So if they're kind of at that level, man, might take out a loan or sell my motorcycle and buy them or something. I don't know. Houston is like 8 or 9 hour drive for me, depending on if I hit Houston traffic or not. Oh, and you will, Joseph. Houston is just a traffic thing. Is it only 8 or 9 hours? I've made that drive like 50 times in my life. Well, and we might even be able to meet halfway, Joseph. I mean, if we were trying to do something here, like kind of what Vincenzo and I did, then yeah, it would be all the way. But I'd be willing to meet you halfway, just because a 4.5 hour drive is a heck of a lot easier than an 8 or 9 hour drive. At least at my age. Maybe you young whippersnapper, it's not too bad for you. For me, sitting in a car for 9 hours, I mean, I can do it. I can go about 12 hours these days if I have to, but not happily. Hello, Denise. Hello. Good to see you. How is the gato?
I will die.
And Ugnip is back as well. Hail, Ugnip. Welcome back. I think we lost him as he got his daily quest for today. They're printing them in plastic to preserve them. It'd be cheaper to print on paper, I guess. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. So are they doing like 3D printing? That can't be, because you can't get any color in those, right? 3D printing, it just prints even if you etched it, it would be all one color, and then you have to go through and hand paint. That can't be. So it must be, but yeah, plastic would be, like, it would be much cheaper, I guarantee, just to get one of these things. I think they just call them top loaders. Yeah, I mean, it's a plastic. Well, that's kind of cool the way it kind of catches the light there. But yeah, you get this, and then a penny sleeve. It's like a little floppy thing. You put the card in that, and then you put them both in here, and that's about as protective as you need. And I guarantee you, these things are, the penny sleeves are what they sound like, pennies on the dollar. So probably get 3,000 of those for, I don't know, $30, $40. The top loaders would be a little more expensive for 3,000 cards, but probably cheaper than printing in outright plastic. But I'd be interested to see what it ends up with and what the cost ends up being. But that's some love of the game right there. See, K Fluffy, he was like, you know, it looked like the game was going to end with him being the only one who owned a premium collection. That got thrown out the window, so he's like, all right, screw it. I'll be the only one to own a full plastic collection. And nobody can take that away from him. Midnight will only settle if one of us gets in his cage. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, that's not a sustainable solution. That is not sustainable. Yeah, ooh, boy. Ooh, I do not envy that task. Are you in the cage now? I was going to say, that is a big cage. Either that or it's incredibly uncomfortable. Well, no, it would have to be, because otherwise you'd be squishing the cat. So it has to be a pretty good-sized cage. I don't know. They hired a company to do it. Okay, I'll just ask them. I just know they're printing plastic cards.
they'll never get the best.
That'd be trippy. It's like, how are you going to pay for this, sir? Let's see. MasterCard, Visa? No, I'm going to pay with Encanto. I have many important things on my mind. I'm sorry, sir. It's plastic, isn't it? Yes. Swipe it. Okay. Oh my gosh, it worked. $1,400. Not the best ice storm in the world, but not the worst. He's staying alive. Anyway, I have to go. My hamburger meat is thawed, and I'm making spaghetti. Nice, Joe. Nice. Well done, chef. Enjoy your well-made spaghetti. And yeah, we can talk a bit about maybe meeting up somewhere.
A challenge.
Because I'm totally down with a 4.5 hour drive. I could do that. My sister's in the cage at the moment. But jokes aside, how's the treatment going? I see. Well, still. Sigh. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Oh, man, that is... It's never fun to have life put in perspective. Well, a new what? Ognip, what are you talking about? We've got a cage, we've got a sister. I don't think either one of those are... Or cat. That doesn't sound like it would be either. Is it a bigger cage? Is that what's in the works?
With our Lord.
A bigger cage. Well, yeah, I mean, if it's big enough for a person and a cat, I think that's a pretty decent size. I mean, because that means without the person in there, that's a huge cage for a cat. That's like a playground.
We must protect our stronghold.
Get like a little baby cat post in there. Oh, card draw, nice. Looking for answers, didn't find anything. A new sister. Well, my older sister is getting a bit old. You don't say, Baldric.
Display.
Your older sister's getting old, eh? Well, you know.
Finally, a challenge.
Nalago will make them pay.
Don't destroy a card. Don't draw a card. That's even worse. Ah, boy. Or are you getting younger? That's a mind trip right there, Ugnip.
What could be better?
Wow. That's dastardly. And there goes nothing. All right. He cannot be properly treated, Baldric, till they know what's wrong. The procedure was to take biopsies, and he has to stay in cage for 2 weeks. Oof. Okay, second cage incoming. Wow.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
Man, if O'Baggy had not been able to draw so much off of that kitty, then he'd be in good shape right now. And that, I believe, is the dagger. I don't know. Well, Billy G and if he could do Vet and Alfiq. But you don't want to Belly G anything. Looks like he's going to use Baron of Tyr. Yep.
quicker than
The
your
best
eyes.
protection money can buy.
Alive for another turn. See the floaty thing. The floaty thing is what's killing me right now. Like, those are not flying creatures. They're just in play. Does he have 2 removals for those guards? Oh my gosh, I didn't realize his ramp was up that high either. You don't really realize until they play an 8 cost removal. Or 8 cost removal. And they still have 9 magicka left. Okay, I mean, hey Ross, this is not going down without a fight. If he could pull this off, it would be definitely worthy of a GGG. No doubt about it.
Walk with our Lord.
Well. That'll do it. Well, no, that'll do it. Right?
Let's do this.
Oh, I mean, if that had hit, he couldn't have played Alfiq and Breton anyway. But, oof. Well, it was well fought. He fought his heart out for that one. And again, if were not for the ridiculous amount of card draw, he might have been able to pull it out. Let's check in with Io. See how he's doing here. Oh. He's got his back against the wall a little bit with his... Wow. Io playing aggro, huh? Ball mid-range.
Nothing through. Close ranks.
Excuse me. Good Lord, someone take that woman for a walk already. What?
I see you're in need of my wisdom.
Belly G, deploy! Boink. You know, I had actually thought about doing a alternate version. It would have just been way too much on the production end to do this. But I thought about
You're in need of my wisdom.
trying to do, like, have a game.
Everything was taken from me. Today I pay in kind.
To just have the basic sound effects and add like kind of like cartoony ones, like, you know, boink, wee, or, you know, just like the different like Looney Tunes type sound effects, and then change the voice lines, get different voice lines in there that are more reflective of what how the cars play in real life. But one, I couldn't think of too many of those one-liners, and two, yeah, it just was going to be a production nightmare. So, true story. All right, so Io probably looking, can I win here? It's got 11, and Encano is 16. And even if he was at 12, he would be 3 short of it. So he kind of needs to survive for this next turn somehow. Not an easy task. How is it already chicken bedtime? I hate winter. Wait, what is chicken bedtime, Underhill?
Apologies.
Unless you were saying freaking bedtime? Oh, chicken bedtime, just sundown? Is that another way of saying sundown? I guess it is, right? Because they get up with sunrise, get down with sunset. Chickens go to sleep.
Suffer and die.
I surmised, but I was not entirely sure. But yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, I remember the first day I came out of here to go into the bedroom, and it was like pitch black. I couldn't see anything. I was like, wait, what happened? So now I kind of have like a reading light on in the other room so I can actually find my way around the hallway. But yeah, when we first moved here back in, August, get done with this, and we still had like 2 hours of daylight. I went out and threw the football with my my brother-in-law. Well, I mean, the outfit wouldn't be a part of the equation at that point. I just don't like her attitude. She seems like she would be irksome. Not my type. A drain, if you will. You see what I did there? Talking about Dark Seducer. She'd be a drain. Cause she It's hilarious. It really is. All right, here we go. Casual match. Okay, I've got to give him a little flack for this. What? I swear, sir, if you got that OTK down and I didn't get to see it, I will be furious with you. Furious. Okay, all right.
Think it's worth dying for?
Kashid likes these.
Hey, Ross. I'm like, what is it with the Our Lord? Like, who the fuck is Our Lord? Bitch, better check yourself. Don't piss off. That's not ruthless. What is the word? Savage. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about other countries in the world. I don't know, like, because Canada is our northern neighbor, like we share a border with Canada, I think we may have more, what do you call it, stereotypes or whatever, but at least in the States, there is a very broad, and I do mean very broad, stereotype that Canadians are all, like, just incredibly friendly. Like, they're like they'll hit you, and like, if you back into them, like they're just standing there and you walk in, you stumble and you hit them. They'll be like, oh, so sorry I got in your way there. Are you okay? It's a very, I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to be thought of as incredible, but it's like to an extreme. So it was that when I first started with A-Rod, and I know, it's stereotypes, but then there's also that true stereotypes are there for a reason. So like somewhere, somebody got the idea that all Canadians are just incredibly friendly. And then I met Io, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that guy is going to put you down if you look at him sideways. And then you got Eros, who just
The winds favor us.
ride a bike with our Lord. This is why you do not do casual. Oh, marketing casual. Oh. But that's a problem, Mugnip. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter. Like people, I don't understand it. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, that conversation just got spicy. All countries create stereotypes in the neighbors. Well, that's what I was. Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. But that's what I was wondering because, all right, let's see here. Friend Edmorn, Michael Bailey, suspiciously and auspiciously absent. from chat dares to play the game. How dare you, Michael? How dare you? I'm sure you're listening. It is. But my viewers are very sheltered. This is shaking things up. Footloose. Of course, you know I'm kidding. Well, that's what I meant, Jonas. So, like, the fact that, like, Canadians are our neighbors, I didn't know if the rest of the world even bothered to develop stereotypes. I mean, I know they've got them about America. I think everybody does. But, like, I didn't know if it was the same, or if it translated the same way, or if there's a different perception of Canadians elsewhere in the world because they have a different experience, or the stereotype was developed differently, or whatever. Because obviously, while I'm sure there are many, and perhaps mostly gregarious and benevolent Canadians, there are certainly some that are not. And so, depending on your experience, you may be. Ooh, stone's throw. Yeah. One more hit. One more hit with Kitty, and Sad Panda becomes Sadder Panda. Sundown is like 3:30 these days. Is it really that early? 3:30? So for us, I'm saying it's about 5. Maybe, wait, so it's 5. Okay, maybe 4. It was 5 on the East Coast. So probably around 4:30 our time. So yeah, I guess maybe not that far. What'd I say? What happened? What are you talking about? Would you get market in your game too? Paul, 5:30? Okay, cool. And whereabouts are you, Paul? Or is it Paul? I don't think you've ever given. Maybe you have, and I totally forgot. Is it? It's not Paul, right? Florida. Okay, so yeah, East Coast. Okay, so yeah, so 5:30, so a little bit later than what I was remembering. But we're not quite at the darkest yet, are we? I guess maybe 5 is like that. What is that day in December that it's like this is as dark as it gets, and then after that it starts getting lighter? Maybe it's 5 o'clock at that point. Or I could be misremembering. It's been a while since I lived in Virginia. On the East Coast. Solstice. There you go. That's it. Okay, so you are... Well, yeah, you... Wait. Yeah, okay, so it got dark for you about 2 hours ago. Well, an hour ago. Roughly. I mean, I'm just happy I don't live so far north that it never comes back up. Oh, that's right, Jonas, you were telling me. You were telling me that if you're certain parts of the country, it's just like perpetual night. And then, but do you have perpetual day too? Is it like Alaska? Because Alaska, I think they have seasons where there's a certain time of the year where the sun never goes down, and you have to have like the blackout shades in order to keep it, to make it look artificially dark. And then there's times where it's like 11 o'clock at night and it's bright as day. So I can't remember if you have a switch. Wait, me? That I'm Jonas, or that Paul is? At the moment, you have dark 24 hours a day. Holy cow! Whew. I mean, that's got to screw with you somehow. Yes, the summer has midnight sun up there. Ooh, I just met Eye of the Restless Storm. Wow, I just realized I've not said Io's name in forever. I keep saying Io, but I forget Eye of the Restless Storm is his full name. Oops. No. Okay, well, he knew I wasn't calling him a git. Okay, yeah, I knew all about the Canadian stereotypes. Okay, good. Just making sure. I'll get an eye face. Oh, here we go. Okay, gotcha. I was like, wait, what is the context here? How did you meet Io? Did you just walk up like, hey, you must be Ugnip? I just happen to be in your part of the country, or your part of the world. Ring out the solstice bells. Ah, Baldric. I will never tire of the references that I know. It's bad enough. Like, I don't even get pop culture references worth a darn. And now you're giving me pop culture references from what I'm guessing is about 30 years ago. What is that from? What is that from?
Let nothing through.
Is it ring out the solstice bells? Da 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 da. I don't know.
I feel a storm.
Not in real life yet. Yeah, it could be a little while, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe. You know, I'm thinking, if we got a really long rope, and I mailed one end of it to you guys in Europe, and you tied it off to something, and then we pulled, we could probably start to bring the continents closer together. To the point where we could build a bridge feasibly out of, just stuff we have lying around. Maybe just for bikes, but walking and bikes, pedestrian and bicyclists only. So it wouldn't have to be a very big or robust bridge. And if you fall, whatever, we got little rafts or something you can use. I think it could work. I don't see a problem. It's just how to get that much rope in one, because I don't know, it would be miles of rope, I think. So again, don't have the money. It would be very expensive to buy that much rope, I think. Prohibitively expensive.
If it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't lock it up.
You saw my dialect in the Magic DMs earlier. You should be able to guess I'm a little further south than that.
I am ready to join the circle.
All right, well, I was going in savagely at Ugnip here, who is rank 70. Look at that. Ugnip, you weren't joking, man. You and Dano burning the candle at both ends. Both of them in the top 100 on Legends and also ranking up quickly in Magic.
You should.
This fight belongs to
So it looks like, well, I won't say, just in case. It's a tune from Jethro Tull song. I have to look up Jethro Tull. But this is great. I'm learning. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's a band. A British rock band formed in Blackpool, Lancaster. Wait, Blackpool. Wait, no. Beatles came out of Liverpool. I knew it was a pool, right? It was Liverpool. Or no, that's where Titanic came out of. No. Yeah, they're Liverpool, right? I don't know much about the Beatles. Or Jethro Tull. Locomotive Breath? Yeah, I'm seeing release dates. The latest one I'm seeing is 1989. Why did they call themselves Jethro Tull? And that... Did it Ugnip put up a strong defense? He fought valiantly with Covenant. Ugnip, was there a reason Covenant? I have to ask, just because so few people run it these days. Was there a machination you were trying out, or something behind it, or was it a quest thing, or what was the impetus behind I was gonna say Commander, but that's not the right word. Covenant. Let's go Aros. Let me check out Edmorn one more time here. Just kidding. Not gonna look at him. Don't care. Not gonna watch. Ugnip. Logged out of your stream at the moment. Fair enough. I appreciate that. Good integrity. Oh, we got Dano versus Tusk. No. Oh yeah, Dano versus Tusk. But it's a friend challenge. So all we're guaranteed is that it's not going to be market. But it is a friend match. We're logged in. We'll take a gander and then we'll check out what's next. GG, gentlemen. GG indeed. I have noticed I always meet Io every time I have a rank up. Oh no, was that your gateway? No, wait, you were already in Legend. Especially if I'm close close to Legend. Yeah, because you're rank 70, Ugnip. What are you at now with that, I guess? Maybe not quite as high. Still pretty darn good. 79. All right, lost 9 ranks. Io, for shame. See, told you, Canadians, they make you think they're all nice and everything. And then when your back is turned, they're like, lose. Like, no, I thought you were going to let me win. No, you foolish believer of stereotypes. Ooh, that could be a magic card. Believer of stereotypes. Discard your entire hand because reasons. No, this was not the one. I didn't think so. You had me for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I could have sworn you were already there. You'd reached the Hallowed Lands. The Hallowed
My
Lands.
friend would like a word with them.
Firestorm? No. Okay. Deploy the shriveled mummy. That is one shriveled mummy. There's a Marvel Snap card that discards your whole. All right. How much are they paying you, Joe? we don't hear anything from Joe for like 40 minutes. He's making a spaghetti. The next drop in. Just saying. Marvel Snap. Just saying. It's like, oh man, the solstice is a crazy time, like the days get shorter and all. Yeah. I live in a part of the world where we have longer days and shorter nights, like to the point where we have no nights. No kidding. Yeah. Marvel Snap has a card that if you play it, you win the game. Wait, what? Marvel Snap? One of the best games ever. So I'm just saying. I mean, it's not quite as good as Pokemon. I mean, that's up there too. But I mean, it's just funny, Joe. It's just funny. I'm ribbing you. His name. I know who MODOK is. He's the giant head with little legs and arms, and I guess he's like psychic or he's got some psychic powers. He looks like Crane from Ninja Turtles. Yeah, they actually did a parody of him. If any of you all have seen, I highly recommend this. You probably haven't heard of it. It's called Megas XLR. It is a. It takes it's it's a it's a cartoon. Came out on Cartoon Network years ago. That was not a spoof. It was kind of an homage type part spoof about just the giant robot genre, like in Japan. It's just like, so the guy, it's the whole gist is a gal named Kiva, who's a soldier in the future, hijacks they call it Megas, which is this incredibly advanced prototype that the Glorf, that's what they call them, that's the bad guys. The Glorf has created this prototype mech. Kiva steals it to take it back in time to go to the decisive battle between the humans and the Glorf, or Glorfed, to change the outcome. She's like, if Megas had been there, if we'd had Megas, things would have been different. But things go haywire, and she gets sent back to our time in New Jersey. Or no, Megas gets sent back. She somehow is not, I can't remember how it happens, but she's not on Megas when it gets sent back. It goes back to Jersey. Not in our time, but like years before our time. It ends up in the bottom of a junkyard. And so these two guys from Jersey, one of them with a mechanical aptitude, whatever, find Megas, restore it, use a car as a head, and just they just really lean into all the tropes. Oh, that's right, the window's still open. Lean into all the tropes of the genre. It's to me, I found it incredibly. They have a called the S-Force, because in Japan there's something called the G-Force, which is like these kind of like Voltron-esque-ish, but no. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, it was fun. It was amusing. Why was I talking about this? Oh, MODOK. Because there's a character, if you all know who Jeff Campbell is, the guy who played, he was in like the Evil Dead series. We talked about this. He actually is kind of a spoof of MODOK. And he actually does the voice. They actually got Jeff Campbell to do the voice.
Nicely done.
And it's his head with like, you know, kind of MODOK type stuff around it and little arms and little legs. And he's in 2 different episodes.
The 9 inspires.
True story. Okay, what do we miss? Ben White, dude. I love seeing Knife to the Throat in a 95 card tribunal. Clearly up against the Scholar. Your sarcasm is as
They lack
biting as that
All can be had
knife.
for the right price.
By Arcade's beard, stay back.
The only upside is probably wait a while. Attack. And as I write this, I realize the guy has already drawn blood. As I told you, if you can get control to draw blood, they're not going to stop. Which is weird, because he doesn't even have the momentum right now. But anyway. I too am having spaghetti for dinner. Oh, nice! Okay, so it's a thing. Look, we're all coming together with spaghetti. I had spaghetti 3 nights ago. So, digestively, I'm... yeah, I don't know where to go with that, but it's a trendy thing, and folks. If you want to feel like you're in with what the world is doing right now, get yourself some spaghetti. I revenged the market deck for IO, even if it was in normal.
Halt, I say.
You mean casual? You beat the market deck? Nice. If we were in Marvel Snap right now, I would emote you with the Spider-Man point emote. We would probably be here for... Did my business days. Please hold. All our operators are indisposed and bored. Please wait for the next available.
I will keep Soda Sills people alive.
You must be cleansed.
Joe, a very subtle reference to Marvel Snap once again. Secret tip: put down Withered Hand Cultist. Oh, for the market, yeah. If you got it, smoke him if you got him, kind of thing. Or I mean, but I remember that what was it called? The octuplet gauntlet or something, where it was like you could have 5 or 6 of one card, and you only needed like 24. Like what? If it was 6 of one card, you had to have 24 cards or something.
Citizen.
And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people were spamming that market archer stuff. And even if you had a little goblin, little imp, and the douche for like if you had all the support removal and all the buff cards or all the make cards cost more, it still was not enough to outpace that many stuff. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Is MODOK related to Modulok from Master of the Universe? No, Baldric. Modulok. Oh, Modulok. He was the one that like kind of looked like a centipede. I think you could, he was modular. You could take pieces off and rearrange them and everything. I do remember that. That's crazy. I almost had to look at it. Like, no, I remember Modulok. It's one of the more creative Masters toys, as I recall. If it has nothing to do with audio cables, I want my money back from a show named XLR. It's Megas XLR, Jonas. Megas. But I understand what you're saying. Jonas. But no, it has nothing to do with an XLR cable. Although they do use them. They install a sound system on Megas.
Nicely done.
Giant speakers coming out of like all those stuffs. What did I say? Please stand by for the next mass removal. Goodness gracious. Don't knock it, Jonas. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Tusk, good to see you. I was like, I recognize UCX, but it's been a while since we've seen you here, Tusk. Oh, it's the head guy. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, Baldric, maybe. It's an acronym standing for Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing. Just get out some Bandaris with Thieves' Den, throw a Brynjolf down for infinite mana, then use her with an Uprising and Mentor's Ring to win.
I will keep Sotha-Sil's people alive.
Whoa. You left me on read? What? What did I do? What happened? I saw your stream just now. You left me on read? What did I do?
I will keep Sotha-Sil's people
What did I do?
alive.
What happened? What happened? My feelings? There was an exclamation point, which means you didn't see whatever I typed earlier. Thanks. My feelings.
Speak, citizen.
Wait. Oh, wait, I didn't?
Repel the Outlanders.
No kidding, I didn't realize that.
The Nine inspire us.
Behold the light of the tribunal.
The least threatening villain from Marvel, I think even Kite Man and Polka Dot Man are more sinister looking than him. Well, I mean, you're not wrong, Baldric, but I don't know, Polka Dot Man. Well, okay, no. Here's the thing. He doesn't look terrifying as a giant head. Like that idea with the itty bitty little legs is not terrifying. Ooh. Oh, he drew Alduin. So, what do you do? I guess you just keep ramping and then just play him raw. Chancer can't bring him there. Maybe he's got to banish to graveyard. Or not banish to graveyard, just put in graveyard. Oh my gosh. Okay, I do like Exalt. Not a fan of like just removal out the wazoo, but
So much work yet to do.
if you're a fan of Star Trek, don't know what prompted this thought, check out 76584 Unification. Wait, is that the actual name of the episode? They actually put out all those numbers? Or that's a star date, right? Star date 765-874. Something on the bridge, something. Things happen, something. But those are probably from DC Universe, and now I'm mixing the two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Isn't Polka Dot Man, and they sound like the Flash villains. Am I right? Polka Dot Man and Kite Man? I think those are Flash villains. Oh, maybe not.
You must pay to pass unhindered.
Well, public, he could be. Kite Man versus Flash?
Naladur will make them.
Gotham Corn Factory, so I guess he's a Batman villain? I could have sworn I saw him in a Justice League Unlimited Flash episode. Was it a Polka Dot? Polka Dot Man. Oh no, he was from that movie.
I call
Oh, Bennett, Batman. Yeah, see, and that's the only argument, though. The only thing I'll concede regarding comic books. How did that happen? Oh, that's the one that that's a Galen target, I'm guessing, right?
Who's there? Halt, I say.
Yep. Oof. Alduin would be so juicy here. Like, since he drew him, I think maybe Thin White Duke is just playing just to win. He's like, screw it, I don't care. Execute, right? I would imagine. Oh wait, is he trying to? White withered. Withered 6, 9, 14. He had the magic to play 4 of them. Oh no, he just drew the 4th one.
Nicely done.
So he's 1 away from, and that'll do it. Ah, what the hell?
They attacked my children. They attacked.
What's that mean, Io? I only watched The Next Generation. Yeah, kind of you and me both. He's testing Singleton Battle Mage. He forgot Singleton Siege. Doe. kind of important. Just play him raw. Should never be a thing. I don't know what you mean, Io. I'm sure I didn't say that. I wouldn't have said something like that. It sounds like something a weird person would say. Somebody with no decorum or a modicum of decency. That's not something I would say ever. We know this. It's a short film in the wake of Shatner's final Star Trek film as Captain Kirk. Hexagauntlet. That's it, Joseph. That's it. Hexagauntlet. That was the one. AKA the only gauntlet worse than the Grand Melee. You don't like the Grand Melee? I kind of like well, I like the Grand Melee because it was essentially, well, see, that's the thing. I'm not much of the change it up too crazy because I still don't feel like I got much of a grasp on the normal stuff. But I understand if you're trying to make creative decks that maximize the lane, the different changes to lanes and everything, you don't want Grand Melee. I always say Grand Melee is perhaps the laziest because it's just the ladder but in a gauntlet form. The Hexagauntlet though is, yeah, it's absolute crap. It wouldn't be necessarily. It could be fun. I think when I played it, I think I came across like, well, in the 3 times I played it, probably 4 or 5 market decks and maybe 7 non. And the non were kind of fun to see which cards. Like, I remember sitting down and I saw they played one of their cards. I was like, oh, that's a really good card to have. I think I played like Sower and I don't even remember. Maybe the 4-3 or something. And then I saw whatever somebody else played. I'm like, oh, that's actually better. But you ghosted Sea City for sure. I didn't ghost him. I don't know what is going on, to be honest. I'm confused in every such of the word. I haven't missed a single communication exchange to the best of my knowledge. I've been on top of things.
A clash for the ages.
The exclamation point is not true. But hey, Io with a win. Good to see. What was that? Was that Orc Dagoth? You played him raw. I'm such a stinker. All right, come on. I mean, this is when it happens, right? We're getting towards the end of the stream. He's had some rough outings. This is when it happens, folks. This is when it happens. This is when the magic happens.
Welcome to House Redoran, recruit.
The 9 inspire us.
I didn't get caught red-handed. What a dick. What do you mean? What did I miss? Make even my bones
Be
cringe?
always clever. This is the secret to success.
Well, that's a shame. All right, so maybe this isn't the one. Maybe this isn't the one. So 1 minute queue now for a game. Oh, geez, this gets worse by the day. I mean, I guess we knew it was gonna happen. I would expect this in the last week, maybe, or maybe people. Maybe you know what? Maybe it's gonna go away. Maybe it's gonna get worse and worse until the last week, and then it's gonna be just people all over the place.
I know a shortcut.
I can see that being a thing, unfortunately. And if you are in chat, you're showing offline. I'm not ignoring you like Schwart ignored me. I didn't ignore you. I saw all your comments. Look. Well, if I make your bones cringe, your extra D, your extra consonant makes me, my grammar bone cringe. That's not a euphemism for anything, folks. Grammar bone is not a euphemism for anything in particular. Oh, Ugnip is playing too. Okay, we got to get. Sorry, Ugnip, you're at the very bottom of the list, not by my choice, but just by the alphabet. So, Naddle. Ah. No, my friend. I have laid down my battling thing. But we will have a tournament for Christmas.
Fall before enough.
Yeah, Joseph, I saw. We got to find it right here. Here we go. Look, see, I didn't miss anything. See? Just saw your stream just now. Wait. Just get out some Bandaris with Thieves' Den, throw a Brynrolf down for infinite mana, then use her with an Uprising Adventurer's Ring, but it would cost a lot of effort. And that's what I was giving my face to, and then you're like, I just saw your stream just now. You left me on read. I saw it all, Joe. I saw it all. What crap? What just happened? Yeah, we won! No, we lost. That's the exact opposite of winning. I misinterpreted that screen poorly. I believe there are shenanigans afoot. Oh, great. Now Ugnip's not playing. The one time I actually scrolled down far enough to see him, and he's not playing. I was playing Ugnip. Okay, all right. We'll check back in. Grand Melee was good because you only needed like top 500 to get 2 Primo Legends. Yeah, exactly, Joseph. Yeah, which was cakewalk for me most times. I mean, even I was able to get, because Grand Melee was what I think Black Dragon. That's where she came from. So if I can get it, it's an easy format. Wow, I'm 1-0 in the event and ranked number 87. We are truly in the end days. We lost against Workshop. Oh, man. Well, that would put you out of sorts. At least it would for me. Man. I really wonder how many people we genuinely have left in the game that are still playing at this point. I mean, I know most of the, you know, like Daraloth and Thin Mike Dukestar and Rump and Rupus and all those. I know most of the streamers, you know, Denise, have committed to, you know, we're going to be in it till the end. But I'm wondering how many players actually are. I mean, that said, from a spectating standpoint, the games seem to be still there. Like we're not, you know, we're not finding like everybody is queuing, waiting for a game, but we may be getting close. We may be getting close, which is A sad state of affairs.
Me.
Oof.
They lack
Is someone doing private server for this? Underhill, there is. Oh gosh, who is it? I don't know if I know the person's name. You know what? Let me give me 1 second. I will. Let me just dig into the Discord here. La-pa-da-dee-dee-dee, la-pa-da-doo, la-pa-da-dee, la-pa-da-dee. Doggone it. I'm looking for your post, Ugnip. I think it was Ugnip who said, sent a link to a Reddit discussion where the person did say, I am looking to create it in... And yet I'm seeing... I'm seeing Joe posting a... This is the snare people used to catch iguanas. You just sneak up on them. Oh, goodness gracious. So short answer, yes.
Spill your blood.
Deserves another.
Underhill, but I don't have access. I'd have to look for it. But there is a link. There's somebody on Reddit who said he's going to create a player versus player interface that they'll have to do the server stuff, but iguana snares, that has to be the most random bit of any, whether it's Tesla related or not, kind of discussion. That has got to be the most random thing I've ever seen. I didn't get a chance to see what in the conversation prompted that particular item with an explanation, or with that post and the picture. We were talking about hunting. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I thought you might have been talking about like items that you can get from what's his name? Oh, geez. I want to say Marak, but it's not Marak. Oh. Gone but not forgotten, but also forgotten. I'm going to remember. Merrick? Merrick the Oswald. Yes, Merrick. I thought you were like, what items can you get from Merrick? And people are like, oh, you could get a rally spear, you could get Mace of Encumbrance, and Joe's like, or you could get the Snare of Iguanas. A legendary item. Ah, yes, the classic Merrick Iguana Snare. Exactly. It's a thing. Ugnip, if you are still here, if you have that link handy, if you want to post it in chat with me or whatever, I'll pull it up and I can post it here so that like Underhill and some other folks could take a gander. But yeah, there is... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut myself off there. He said it would be very rough for this game. Like there's not... It wouldn't have... it wouldn't be graphically awesome, essentially. But that it would be playable with all the stuffs. But he said it's going to be a pretty long project. I think he said... I can't remember because there was somebody else who was also making a game and was talking about making it kind of a homebrew from scratch type deal. Somebody said, maybe one or two people to help, but otherwise it's just something he's going to work on, for a while over time. And then eventually, maybe if he rolls that out, if it works well, he might consider trying to do AI so that you can actually battle the AI. But it would be a long burn. I'm curious as to whether the interest would be there. And again, not that people are abandoning it, but it's at some point you just go, okay, it takes a while.
Let nothing through. Close ranks.
All right, so doesn't have any action. Oh, for goodness heck's sake. Oh, sorry, IO. Man. One would certainly need to recreate the server for the existing client. Well, yeah, well, I'm not. So honestly, when we start talking about server clients and things, that's where I get my knowledge is a little bit muddied. It sounded like he was just going to, it was going to be open source and he was just going to recreate it kind of from the beginning. I don't know if that does entail recreating the server or if he literally means from the ground. Like, hey, blank slate, here's a basic board, it's black or brown, here, start putting in the cards, or if he is going to get them somehow. I don't know how he would do that, but it would totally, it has no affiliation with Sparky Pants or Bethesda as far as I know. There's no collaboration or, oh, hey, here's the files or anything. So I'm not sure if he can do that without those things. But I do know he was like saying it's not going to be, the most amazing thing visually anyway, but the gameplay should be there. But again, whether he'll have the tenacity to, I mean, if this was like a 200 card game, I could see that, but 3,000 cards. Pikachu. Oh yeah, that's like little Frazzle Lafik is kind of like little Pikachu. I never thought of it that way. Oh wait, this is Joe plugging some Pokemon Pocket right here. That's what that is. I'm on to you, sir. I'm on to you.
This one will tear them to shreds.
So wait, Joe, is this the fabled? Is this the Elsewhere Gauntlet? Are you going to be able to make this deck shine like you did in the last Elsewhere Gauntlet? I remember that was a dominating performance. Game clients are cracked all the time. Just depends on how much of the game is the server and how much is the client. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so if the majority of the game is on the server, then getting the client will just be tertiary pieces and not altogether helpful. But yeah, I'm not sure. He didn't I don't think he addressed that directly. I don't know if this link works. Do I have hang on a second. I can do that for you, Ugnip. I've got the power. Alright, go for it, Ugnip. You can now post your link. Roger that, Ugnip. You are now cleared to post your link. Please make sure to keep it clean, kosher for all the good folks out there. Or anything disturbing, traumatizing. Since you have to be online to play even solo, what does that look like for the server versus the client? There we go, Ugnip. Thank you, sir. Much obliged. So there you go. I will start overseeing. I'm not going to put it on the screen because y'all can't see Joe doing his thing. I will start overseeing an open source remake of Test Legends. I work in game development, but mainly work in auto. Tesla was my first CCG. So non-commercial, open source, completely free with all cards unlocked. We legally can't do it any other way. No open queue. As I don't expect there to be a constant stream of players looking for random players to queue with. This can be changed if it ends up being more popular than anticipated. Simplified 2D graphics. Made using Godot or Godot. Could be pronounced anyway. The T might be silent. I don't know. Taking inspiration from Magic the Gathering clients like Cockatrice and Untap.in. So again, none of this makes any sense to me other than a vague notion of what's going on. Focusing on PvP, focusing on Windows, Linux, and Mac. As well you should, sir. Don't leave Mac out of the rotation. If there's anyone who wants to help out, I'm happy to take on a couple extra people to help out. Specifically, if any of you have experience making a full game in Godot or Godot, have a background in programming, and are able to consistently dedicate any amount of time each week. I don't know, Io. This might even be a guy that we try to get you hooked up to. I mean, if he can recreate Tesla, I'm pretty sure he could get your game moving. But yeah, I didn't read the whole thing because I figured y'all could read it. I hate when I mean, I don't hate it, but it gets me when, well, that could just be a lock and key with no other real server requirements for solo. Or, it gets deeper. The plot thickens like gravy. Provided that gravy is thickening and isn't just not doing anything.
By the fires of oblivion. I am the Queen Mother. Attend me.
No pilfer for you, kiddies, she seems to say. Queen Baronzaya, you diabolical minx.
We will make a fortune.
Ooh, that is a hard counter right there. He was gonna pilfer and drain and pilfer and drain, but he's not gonna do any of that now. Doink. Doink. Razm, no, you were the best of us. Razzle dazzle 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 dazzle. Looking good for Joe. Fun fact, Queen Baronzaya is a hoe in the books. Is she really? Which is great. I seem to recall, vaguely, but I seem to recall almost all the characters in those books were kind of scandalous. Wasn't there like the saucy barmaid or something that was like the Argonian barmaid or something, and she was a little lascivious perhaps? But yeah, I think there's a lot of naughty characters in Skyrim. The lusty Argonian maid, that's it, Underhill, yes. The lusty Argonian maid. And I think that was actually her actual like in-game name. Like if you went to talk to her, it was just the lusty Argonian maid. Or was that in the book? I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh, everything kind of blurs together. But I do remember that. And I remember reading some of the books. I'm like, this is just naughty. Pikachu. GG. Now back to your Poképod. All right, this has got to be the one, Thin White Duke Star. This has got to be the one. It's that time. It's the final countdown. Got to see you pull this off. It's tradition. It's tradition. That deck is super broken. Hey, it looked okay from where I was sitting. 40 card wax Wayne, so unfair. Oh, it's the 40 card version, right? Okay, much more consistent. A book every decent player should have had in their item hoarding collection since Morrowind. But it's Pikachu Cat. So back in your Poke cage, I guess.
Halt, I say.
I will admit that was a troll. That was a troll. I know it's called a Pokeball. I was gonna type that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna use old man lingo. Hey, I gotta put that in your Pokepod or your Pokedex or whatever thing. I was trying to sound old and out of touch, and I think I succeeded nicely. You're one of those guys who pretends you're too cool for Pokemon, huh? I don't know. No. Joe, you gotta remember, I'm a child of the 80s. A child of the 80s. You know what that means? That means I was watching Care Bears. That means I was watching Transformers, G.I. Joe.
For the Black Hand.
I'm trying to think of this. My Little Buddy, for crying the heck out loud. Like, you know, my generation, I'm not saying I played with them necessarily, but we had pound puppies. Although I did have a pound puppy. Pound puppies. Punky Brewster, Rainbow Bright. I mean, we had all this. You can't... And even our anime was nerfed in a way that it made it almost childlike and completely ridiculous. Voltron, absolutely no correlation really with the actual show. It was missing so many episodes and so much context. And they redid some of the episodes. You're like, what is even going on right now? So I would never pretend to be too cool for Pokemon. I missed the window. You know, to quote Obi-Wan, I'm getting too old for this sort of thing. So if it had been 5 years earlier, I would have been a Poke player. Now, I don't know how long I would have played or how much I would have gotten into it. And not because it wasn't cool, because it was cool. I mean, it's the biggest property in the entire world. Like, well, one of the biggest brands in the entire world. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Now, to be fair, I was very, very familiar with Pee-wee. I was not allowed to watch. For whatever reason, Pee-wee did not rub my parents the right way, and they did not want Pee-wee in the house. So I was not allowed to watch Pee-wee. But I was very familiar with his antics. I remember the toys, the big red chair thing that he sat in. What else do you do in a chair, really? The whole it's my bike thing. I remember much about him, but I did not. But I mean, yeah, exactly. He was like the Uber. Him and Urkel were like the duo nerddom of the 80s and early 90s. Like, there's no way I'm thinking I'm too cool for Pokemon. What?
I do not fear death. Your death will be swift.
Honestly, I'll say this. The cartoon, the little bits here and there, because I used to babysit for a brief time, like the kids down the street. And so I'd sit and just watch whatever they wanted to watch. Was only allowed to watch TV for a certain amount of time. I had to, play games with them and stuff. But, when they were all funned out after playing games and Yoshi's Island, we'd watch these. And the cartoon is just so... it's not like G.I. Joe and Transformers were like, they made the figures seem awesome and cool. But you got this little scrub, little Ash running around with his little hat on, his little Pokeball. And you got this professor with his big boofy mustache, and you got the little gal with the little side ponytail thing. It made it seem even like more skewed towards the younger demographic. It made it like, I remember, like, again, I wasn't in the know, I wasn't in the loop with it, but I just remember thinking that's something that like 10-year-olds play with. Like, it's a 10-year-old thing. 7 or 8-year-old. Like, and I wasn't the only one. We did a college sketch, and we had a character who had a Pokemon backpack, and it was like a little girl sketch. Like, she was, I don't remember the premise of it, but that was one of the things. She wore this like little Pokemon backpack, and she's like, my backpack, and it's got Pokemon on it. No, I don't know. I don't even know what I can't remember. I just remember the Pokemon backpack. So even then, even when we were in college, our perception of Pokemon was that it was a property for children, like kids, not, oh, we missed it by like 4 years. Otherwise we would have been playing. Because that's the thing. Like, I would have been still in that target demographic of like, could have played it, but I still was probably about another 5 years. I'm like about 10 years removed from it being like my jam, as evidenced by our age gap. Like, there's very few people I would argue. I don't know if I'd argue. I would hypothesize that most people in their mid 40s are not Pokemon fans. Not that they hate Pokemon, I think it's stupid or anything, but they just are like, I don't get it. It's not my thing. But we're old enough to understand, well, there's a lot of stuff now that were our thing, and kids look at that and go, what the heck is this? So it's not a judgment call on Pokemon, it's just Pikachu. I don't know, Joseph. That Pikachu better than He-Man, Thundercats, Bon Jovi, and Atari. Look, I'll give you Bon Jovi. And I'll give you Atari. I wasn't even a big fan of Atari. That was before my time. Pokemon after Atari was before. I played it. That was my first game system, but I wasn't young enough to really appreciate it for what it was. But He-Man and Thundercats, no. You kidding me? Come on now. Come on. If He-Man came out when Pokemon did, and it was a video game first, and it involved collecting something beyond just figures, it would have been more popular than Pokemon. Take that back. Wait a minute, Baldric. I think we've got a priority swapped here. So Baldric takes umbrage with Bon Jovi. But Bon Jovi's music is immune to... What do you mean electric types, though? He-Man and Thundercats weren't electric. The only thing electric in there is Atari. So Pikachu is better than Atari. I guess that the collective wisdom says, Joseph, we will give you Pikachu is better than Atari. Everything else, poor comparison. Austin Powers said the 80s was nothing but tumbleweed, and I believe him. No, 70s was weird. Man, look at the movies from the 70s. You got maybe half a dozen, if that, of... Well, okay. Admittedly, in my own bias, there are very few movies from the... like, you got Jaws, you got Star Wars, technically. Jaws, Star Wars, yeah, that's all I got. I like, you know, because I'm not a horror movie fan. I'm not a... What do you call it? What's that genre? I don't know, but like, what are the Vietnam movies? Not my thing. And that's really what the 70s were. It was a bunch of Vietnam themed movies. And stuff like Clockwork Orange, disturbing type films. At least, again, from my perspective, just things that I wouldn't gravitate. I'm not saying they're bad, but, you know.
I smell the stench of the living.
Well, he needs a lot of pieces. This may be a while. We're probably going to see either Rogue Ugly will concede or Thin White Duke Stars. There we go. Dang it! I speak it and it happens. Except for the obvious things that I would speak and nothing would happen. You might be right, Baldric. I like Pokemon, but it was because my nerdy ass friends were into it in their 20s. Oh, jeez. Yeah, see, I would have had to have been a nerdy ass friend to be into it in my 20s, because that's when it came out, when I was in my 20s. Oh, no, I was 19? No. Okay, Pokemon, the video game. Which is the first time anybody saw anything about Pokemon. 1996. So I was 16, and as everybody knows, a 16-year-old, I was full of angst. I was into girls. Not literally. And playing Donkey Kong Country 2, probably. Or 1 or 2. I was reading Star Wars screenplays. I was replicating Singing in the Rain dance moves with my friend on VHS. We watched it on VHS, and then we replicated the dance moves. We did that for about an hour, and then we realized we couldn't even mimic what Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor were doing. We gave up on that and turned instead to fight choreography. We worked out fight scenes, and we actually did one in our friend's house. They thought we were actually fighting for a second until he flipped me, and I hit the ground so hard that it shook a lamp, fell over, broke a bulb, and we immediately were like, "Oh my gosh, what?" Because we don't want to be property damage, and the ruse was up. But like that's what I was doing at that time. So Pokemon, not really on the radar back then. But then the card game, meaning when it was finally reached peak, or it began peak popularity. Also 1996, really? All right, screw it. I was just too damn cool for Pokemon forever and always. I wasn't even an old man. I wasn't even in my 20s back then, and I just knew it was for those of lesser minds. Yeah, there we go. Quote me on that. Surely that won't go wrong. The 80s weren't all bad. We had Star Wars and oh my gosh. Skek Towers. I don't know too many people. And Constructs, Legos. Yep. And there were still animal circuses. Yep. I cannot believe you actually alluded to Skek. That's the insect guys, right? That rode giant insects. Yeah, my friend had a couple of those figures. I almost got one, but I think my mom decided they were a little too creepy looking. And I'm not gonna lie, they were creepy looking. We had some very bizarre, creepy toys back then. But yeah. I mean, again, the classics: He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, GoBots, Voltron. We did have we had a version of Voltron. We had the toys. We didn't necessarily, we didn't have the full anime deal, but we had Voltron, which was essentially the better Power Rangers. Power Rangers is a Voltron knockoff. Let's just be honest about that. It is a lesser version of Voltron. And what else did we have back in the 80s? Like the really good stuff. Mask. Mask was another big one. Centurions, Power Extreme. Silverhawks had the cartoon and the figures. The figures kind of sucked because their arms didn't actually do anything but flash out like wings. But Silverhawks were cool. Had a good theme. Lots of good cartoon music back then. Yeah, we had a lot of good stuff. Almost too much. 80s music is great too, but they all kind of follow the same format.
Careful there, friend.
Come on, Michael Jackson, and who's the guy that does Never Gonna Give You Up? Rick Astley. Rick Astley and Michael Jackson could not be any more disparate, but yet they both had amazing hits and amazing careers. Arguably, more people know about Rick than Michael Jackson, but he was still a prominent name. And then you had Megadeth, AC/DC, Metallica, and you had House of Pain. Were doing their thing at that point, doing the rap happy bit. And then, of course, you had your normal, Madonna doing her thing and whatever. There was very, very diverse music back then. Very. Here comes the truth. He thinks he's too cool for Pokemon. Always, Joe. Always. Well, 80s music is some of the last that was made before the internet. Before common internet, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me and my social group, I think internet hit it began having an impact in 95. That's when like the first people I knew actually had it, when dial-up started being a thing. We didn't have it in our house until much, much later. But 95 was like the earliest that I remember it being a thing, really, in my life. I remember when the internet first came out, the first porn I ever beat my... Joe, where's the euphemism, Joe? The first girl I was enamored with, the first naughty pictures. No, we... Oh, goodness gracious. What did you have? What's in your spaghetti, Joe? How much whiskey did you pour in your spaghetti? Dark magician girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, the memories. Not familiar with her. Now I don't want to look her up. Mask, yes. I'm a mask. I promise I've been around that since. I don't know, Joe. That was a very specific memory. That was a very specific. Partly metal, partly real. Silverhawks. Yeah, see. So, Andrew, do we establish you're about my age, right? Do we no, you're a little bit younger, right? I think, do we establish that? I've kind of run that gauntlet with everybody. I think, what are you, about 5 years younger, 4 years younger? I think we covered that, I believe. Thriller is arguably one of the most important albums ever made. Indeed, and wasn't it the first real music video? Like, it was the first, I think it was the first music video on MTV. Like, that launched that whole thing. And yeah, a Thriller was Ride the Lightning. Is that a 90s band? Metallica?
Let's heat things up.
Right, exactly right, Joseph. Goodness. What, you're wrong that their first album sucked or that they're a 90s band? I mean, it is hard. Like, I've said it before that pretty much every decade is it bleeds it kind of peaks at the turn of the decade, and then you have like 2 or 3 years that are still technically more like 80s ended in like 93, 94. The 90s ended in 2002, 2003. Maybe preemptively because of 9/11, but most of the time I feel like the decades, like I think the 80s, like 82, maybe even 83, still were kind of like the 70s. We still had the bleed over from that. You still had some of the bell bottoms. You still had that really ugly orange and brown, like Argyle sock look to everything. The furniture, shag carpeting. Now maybe not shag carpeting, but like some of the least or the less, like the same thing like the 80s. The parachute pants were in the 80s, but the like, you know, gangsters wearing like fedoras and white shirts with vests, like that was still kind of in the 90s, and then it slowly faded out. Def Leppard also became huge in the 80s. Definitely. And most Metallica fans like the older albums the most. Oh wow, 81. Dang. Dang, Joe. Off by a decade. Typical Pokemon fan. Don't know jack about the rest of the world. If it came out before Pokemon, who cares when it started?
Keep your distance.
Metallica, did they ever play Pokemon? Well, no. Well, then they suck. That's the Joseph mentality there. Which here, let me just take a sidebar here. Well, okay. To be fair, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would not be having any of this happening right now because of the internet. But can you imagine a time where you'd be sitting down with your friends and somebody would say Metallica was totally a 90s band, and you got somebody else going, no, it was like 80s, man, like 85 at least or something. No, man, it was definitely the 90s. You would have no way of definitively proving one way or the other. The only way you could do it is if somebody had the cassette tape or the CD and still had the insert and could go, bam, Metallica, this album, 1984, told you. You couldn't, there was no other way. There was no other way. There was nowhere to go. There was no resource. You couldn't go to the library. You might be able to. You could go to your parents, but even then, you go, oh, Dad, when did it come out? Oh, I don't know. Sometime, whenever. Who cares? It's not Pokemon. I don't know. You might have a media savvy family member who could definitively say one way or the other. But the other one would just say, well, that's what he thinks. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. I mean, we can have rivalries and intense arguing matches for hours and hours, if not days and weeks. And here it's like, nope, okay, that came out then. All right, my bad. That's it. Like, where's the fun in that?
I will keep Sofa Sill's people alive.
See, I don't know much Metallica. I mean, I listened to them because I know they were popular. I know they were a thing. Metallica, AC/DC, and Megadeth were like the big three that I knew of. Def Leppard, I think, that's the kind of same music. Like I said, I was very sheltered in the music department growing up. That's not a bad end of game, unfortunately for Thin White Duke. This might be a challenge that gets the better of them. No, their first album did suck. They got better quickly. The first music video was Buggles. Video killed the. Oh, was it? That was the first MTV one. What was Thriller? Thriller was the first something. Maybe it was the first. Okay, was among the first to use music videos as a promotional tool. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't the first of anything. But yeah, Video killed the radio star. I do remember that song. Post 80s. Like the first time I heard that song was sometime, probably in the mid 90s, or as Joe would say, in the early 80s. It's like RHCP. First albums were terrible and had too much bass. Then they finally made cool music after a while. RHCP.
Bondog, curse you.
Rodney Hampton Cereal Pulp? Wait, that's actually a band? Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, there you go. There you go. I am familiar with them. I have heard of them. They're actually my friend Eric's favorite band of all time. I don't know how he feels about him now. He's kind of gone like hardcore hip hop for the past like 2 decades. But when I met him, his CD album, his CD case that he kept in his car was all, well, a good chunk of it was Red Hot Chili Peppers. Black Sabbath. Oh, yep, that's another one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was trying to think if there was another one like along that vein that I could think of, but no. Actually, James Hetfield is famous for being a bug type trainer. James Hetfield, bug type trainer. What are we talking about? American musician. Oh, Metallica. Okay. And he was a bug trainer? What is a bug type trainer? Look it up. It's true, I promise. What? All right, I'm going to type in James Hetfield, bug type trainer. I'm not seeing anything about bug type trainers. When I'm happy, I'm writing the heaviest riff possible.
Yes? What is it?
Here we go. Reddit. Did anyone else's friend get them to type in James Hetfield bug type trainer? This is a troll, lol. Don't bother looking. There is no information on this. If you were sent here, question your friendships. Huh.
Should help.
All right, well, that's what that showed up, Joseph. Oh, that's right, Ozzy Osbourne. That was another big name back then. Actually, James Hetfield. Just need conscription. I told you you'd do it. Well, we don't want to speak too soon. Time to put that. There it is! There it is! Oh! Here it goes! Here it goes!
We must remain steadfast. Watches over.
I mean, it's a board clear that isn't going to actually clear anything. Wait, am I right? What's going on? Hang on a second.
Believers shall flock to our noble cause.
I don't think that worked the way he thought it would. Oh, no, there he goes. Okay.
Of the living.
What? Is this what we waited all this? Is that right? What? This is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Is it? That is the biggest pop fizzle I've ever seen.
My honor.
Dragon, this Aldo needs to cost 2 or less. Okay.
This should help you.
Okay.
I'll keep a lookout.
Well, yeah. So wait, okay. So I think we had, I think we had what? So okay, I was wondering because what I thought he was saying was he was going to use the Tuwaka guys. Oh, never mind. What was I thinking? They nerf actions, not character costs. So he was saying, I don't know.
I strike like
Creates
the
conscription.
swiftly and silently.
I don't know. Okay, explain it, Joseph. I feel Ozzy's music got way better when he just became Ozzy Osbourne. He has some of the best 80s ballads for sure. Ozzy's solo stuff was fantastic. So we have a concession there, it seems. BP and AP before Pokemon and Anon Pokemon. Anno Pokemon.
I can't waste energy talking.
BP was legendary. I could pick and choose from his solo stuff, but it's good. And Kill 'Em All is one of the most raw records ever put down. You just don't have the ear for it. Okay, he's talking about Joseph. Kill 'em all. Burn 'em all to the ground. Who is Red Hot Chili Peppers? We're pulling you through. We're pulling your bro? That's it. I've never seen bro spelled as if it was dough. It's just bro, man. Or just bra. It's either B-R-O, B-R-U-H, or B-R-A-H. So it's either bruh, bruh, or bro. But dough bro is not a thing. You can't take my man card when you're spelling it bro. But look, I didn't know. I know who the Canadian band is. The guys. Hang on, I got it. You're gonna. Let's see. Oh, BNL. I know who BNL is, because I'm hip to that. I know who BNL is. They're a mainstay. And 82 was also the best. Okay, hang on. Let's see. He's trying to summon Alduin with chant or conscription to destroy his own board, I guess. So wait. What happened? I can imagine. Did the game screw up, or was the concept flawed? Okay, well, there I was chuckling, but then White Duke put in a lot of effort. They used tinkering on one of my cards and turned it into a dragon. Oh, no. Oh, Alduin costs 18 instead of 20 due to dragon and discard pile. Okay. Oh. Yeah, now I feel bad. Had he played one less Withered Hand Cultist, you would have had it. Oh, man. Oh. That's what my chat was saying. I missed it. I thought somehow it was just a conscription that flopped. Foiled by my opponent's RNG for the 3,784th time today. Oh my gosh. Tinkering. Jeez. I was so stoked too. You pulled it off in a manner of speaking, as you always do, right before the stream ends. That blows chunks. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't say I feel bad for laughing because it was like when you're waiting for this big buildup and it's like, wait, why did it pull a sweet roll? That's not where, what you're expecting. You're expecting something. I didn't quite understand the whole process, obviously, because in my head I'm like, oh yeah, changeable summon. doesn't work that way. So yeah, I was way off. Oh man, I feel that pain. Oh. Wow. I'm sorry, my friend. Not at all. It was exciting, and it allowed us to do an autopsy. Autopsy of sorts. I had no clue what was happening. I just saw sweet roll. That was well. That's not a. That's not a. That's not a. That's not a. What do you call that? That's an understandable mistake. Mistake. Even if this was your first time at it. 4 hours in. Brain is gray oatmeal. And RNG is stupid. All right. He actually looked it up. I want to know. And 82 is also a year that the best song in the world came out, The Safety Dance. You can dance if you want to. The night is young and so am I. Your friends and dancing. Ruined by Dragons. Shocker. Ironic. Oh, that is rough. That is rough. If I had realized what had happened, it would not have been struck me as nearly as comically. I thought he pulled it off, and it was just a very weak conscription, and I was confused. I didn't know what I saw him holding on to it, so I'm like, okay, conscription has something to do with this, but it just didn't even. I just thought it would be self-evident once the combo went off, and then when it went off like that, I was like, okay, I guess that was what was supposed to happen, but it was the most unimpressive thing. So I thought, well, maybe it wasn't supposed to be impressive. It was just supposed to be.
It's not enough to watch.
That's those 80s babies for you. They'll look up anything. We're a very inquisitive lot. We do a lot of research, and that's what makes us so formidable and infallible. Or get scammed by people from India asking for money. Hey. I guarantee you, my friend the Prince from India is going to pay back that $2,000 I sent him. He promises he's just having a hard time freeing up the money from the banks. You know how banks are in India. We all know this, right? Missed lethal by opponent. Which sucks because, I mean, in retrospect, it would have been less punishing for Thin White Duke had that been the case. Or if his opponent had gone lethal, and he would never have had to have gotten so close and missed it by that much. Well, they're pretty persuasive, those accents and all. It's very true. Very true. Accents sell quite a bit. He's trying to summon Alden with Chanter Conscription to destroy his own board. Speaking of bruh, Polly Shore is one of the best things to ever happen. It's one of the best things that ever come from the 80s. The Leaning Tower of Cheese. He was quite the character. He was a product and a champion of the time. They're probably. I mean, so you obviously have icons like Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. Well, he was more than 90s, I guess. Like you definitely had icons of the 80s, but Pauly Shore probably encapsulated the 80s or West Coast 80s, maybe. I don't know. It's not entirely, but the clothes, the attitude, the tude, as it was probably called, I think back then, definitely one of them. I was being ironic with bro. Oh, were you really? Okay, gotcha. This is bro. Oh, so it didn't sound like you were actually. So it was a way of saying bro without being a bro dude, and being like, dude, come on, bro, really, bro. I get it now. Okay, I've just never seen it pronounced done that way, and I wasn't sure how. I'd never seen it pronounced that way. Never done that way. All his movies are great, but he peaked at Goof Troop. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, yeah, the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Slurpage. No, what am I thinking of? Encino Man. Encino Man might have been, because he didn't have a big role in Goof Troop. He had a pretty big role in Encino Man with Brendan Fraser and yeah, that was pretty. Oh, Sean Austin. Samwise Gamgee was in Encino Man with those two fellas. So had he played one less Witherhand Cultist, he would have had it. The most convoluted way to foil that combo, and they did it. Foiled like aluminum. Tell him I'll do his brain surgery for $45. I got this. I don't want to do 2025. Can we just stop or something? They say that every year. Don't worry, nuclear war is right on the corner. Hey, Raycom! Coming in with some positive vibes there. Some uplifting trending and such. I'll put it this way. I personally think 2025... Well, here's the thing. 2020 to 2024 set the bar pretty low in general. Just all the crap that happened. Not anything in particular. Just not a really great... Like, we didn't have stuff like that. Things like that happening. We've not been in this position in a lot of ways for a while. So I feel like the 2024 set the bar kind of low. So to say 2025 is going to be better, I think is not high praise. IO. What did he say? This game can eat my entire arse. Signing off. Talk to you tomorrow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Ooh, K Fluffy. Here we go. We'll go out on a K Fluffy match. Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah. Nuclear war. Gonna play Fallout now. Hey, maybe you can. We'll be doing it. We'll be doing it for real next year. I hope we don't have nuclear war. I still have things to do. Exactly right. Tusk, I told you I don't really play the game that much anymore. And when I'm doing like a stream, I'm focused more on, like, I don't even necessarily, sometimes I'm watching the game with, like, if chat kind of calms down and is not too many people are talking until something strikes my head to talk about, I can watch the game and comment on it and everything. And in times like that, then yeah, sure, I can play it. But usually there's a lot going on and I'm trying to keep up with that. And I enjoy more of the communication. I'm not, my joy isn't so much in playing the game anymore. That's why I kind of had my big hurrah. Yeah, that's all. So it was just a, keeping up with things kind of deal. And I honestly just don't play the game that much, really. Like I said, I might play it if there's we have like a little get together thing or something like that for the holidays or whatever. Might do it then, but yeah. Encino Man was great. Or yeah, I think it's NCINO. It's for Encino, California. I didn't find that until later. Biodome. I never saw a Biodome. We just need the Biodome, but we only put Pauly Shore in some of them, like Vault Tech. Wait, Nest of Vipers. What's Nest of Vipers? Oh, was that? Did I miss that? Was it played? Oh, nuts. Well, I mean, wait. Did K. Fluffy just win? Crap. Running Man with Arnold? No. Was it really good? Running Man. I can't remember because after like Terminator, he was hit or miss. Really. Okay. General look looks like it's at least average, at least decent, which is more than we could say for some. Oh, but True Lies, that was a good one. True Lies was a good Arnold movie. That was fun. And it's got about the same rating, looks like, in general. So about the same reception. Nest of Vipers equals 19 cysts. Summon a lane of pit vipers. No, I was Tusk. No, I was afraid of. I'm not afraid of. I was familiar with the card. I just don't know why Joseph just said Nest of Vipers. Did I miss the reference? You ever seen that movie? What a masterpiece! You got to watch it. It's so good. It's one of those Arnold movies. It's funny because it's so over the top, but also cool because action packed. Okay. All right. That sounds like. I mean, I call those in brevity. I call them a romp. They're not necessarily. Okay, so yeah, I don't know either. Like I knew it fills both lanes with 1/1 Vipers. I knew that part. I just didn't know where that came from with the smiley face from Joe. But yeah, I'm all about some romps, which a lot of 80 movies, action movies in particular, fall into that category because they're not. Most of them aren't things you would take seriously per se because they got guys, grenade goes off and they're doing backflips off of stuff and everything. It's high octane, high energy spectacle, max to the max, very, very 80s type, 90s type there. But it's, it's big muscles. It's, one handing, 50 cal machine guns and everything that. It's, it's fun, rompy spectacle is what I call it. But yeah, so I might take a gander. But for now, folks, sorry again. I did start this a little late today. I will be on my best behavior. I'll make sure to do Magic the Gathering on a different day so that I don't get carried away and run it into the stream again. Just so that we're getting the max exposure for Tessel on Fridays that we can get. You're not sending me to the cooler? Is that a line from the movie that I haven't seen, Joseph? That's a Batman joke. Oh, geez. Here's the thing, Joseph, and y'all, I will. Well, I can't defend this wholeheartedly because the director didn't even bother to. But I put it to you this way: if you look at Batman and Robin as an homage to '66 Batman, it's a fantastic movie. If you look at that as just the spiritual successor, the modernized version of 1960s Batman, Adam West Batman, it's awesome. Because it is that exact vibe, that exact campiness and ridiculousness and goofy, like, you take it just seriously enough to care about watching, but not seriously enough that you really think anything of consequence is going to happen. That's about it. If you think of it that way, it does work. But if you think about it as just a Batman movie, a la, compare that to, what's his face? What was the one that came? Even Batman Forever was more serviceable. It was getting worse and worse. I thought Batman Forever was okay. But I was, 17 when it came out? I was a teenager, so what do I know? Batman Forever. 95. I was 15. So I was busy watching Batman Forever and not playing Pokemon. You see, that's how that worked. But yeah, so for a teenager, Batman Forever was fine. Obviously, Batman Returns. Tim Burton, that's what I was thinking of. You compare Batman and Robin to Tim Burton's Batman, and you're like, no way. We have gone far afield. But they kind of went back to, it seemed like they went back to the 66. But the director, I think it's Shoemaker, I can't remember his name now. Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher, I believe, is the guy. He hasn't come out and said that his vision for Batman and Robin was to revisit the 66 Batman. So I can't give him full credit for that because I don't know that he was trying to do that. But I think if he did want to come out and say that and to go, look, full disclosure, folks, big fan of Adam West Batman, was trying to go back that direction. They wouldn't let me go back to the gray and blue costume, but that's kind of what I was going for. I think we've got a fantastic homage. Freeze in hell, Batman. Wait, did he actually say that under Hill? Is that actually a line from that? I remember he said chill out or chill. He had like 5 or 6, and that's not even a thing. I don't think Mr. Freeze is a pun guy. Like, that might be more of a Riddler thing. I don't think Mr. Freeze in any other incarnation of the character has been like, Batman, let me tell you a joke. Let me tell you. Like, he's a tragic villain. This guy is a guy that's burdened by, trying to unthaw his wife. Or is she dead now? I don't know. But some tragedy like that. He's not going to be like, oh, funny. They turned the United Nations into Kool-Aid. And the brave dolphin that swam in front of a torpedo to save them. Are we talking about 66 Batman? If that's the one, I think he turned him into like piles of dust, like multicolored dust. And then Batman used a vial of something on his bat belt at the end to not resaturate, but rehydrify them or something. Some days you just can't, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Akari Warriors. Freeze in Hell as a line. It is really Freeze in Hell. Well, may not go down as a classic, but Robin, give me the bat shark repellent spray. Jeez. Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. I mean, under Mr. Arnold, Mr. Freeze is not animated Mr. Freeze by 100,000 miles. Yeah. Arnold, Mr. Freeze is the walking pun, heavy armor. Exactly, yeah. But that's what I'm wondering. Like, even before the animated, was Mr. Freeze? Well, no, obviously he didn't because he was in the movie. But yeah, Mr. Freeze wasn't even in the comics. I don't think he was necessarily. Again, you have the Riddler who's kind of maniacal, Joker who's kind of maniacal. You could see them making puns or making jokes, whatever. I think Mr. Freeze was always a little bit more of the stick in the mud. He wasn't one of the more colorful Batman villains. He was very deadly serious, at least. That's my impression. But it could just be from the animated series because I didn't read a lot of the comics. So that's just my impression. Yeah, go watch The Running Man, though. That movie is so good. Okay. I have been commanded, and I shall do so. Okay, I'm leaving. I never stick around for the 2-hour post-gameplay wrap-up. Bye! Bye, Joseph. 2-hour post-game. Well, I don't have it in me for another 2 hours anyway. Yeah. I think my brain has been working at like 50% capacity for the past hour or so. That's why I did get the OTK that then Mike Duke was trying to pull off. And tomorrow, got 9:30 with Io. We're gonna play a Magic the Gathering-esque game, test that out, and then it's Vincenzo and I. We're gonna get together. We're gonna finish up the Divinity Original Sin run. Not live. That's gonna be I might ask him about that. Well, I don't have a way to get his... No, he probably wouldn't want to do it that way. If he's okay with it, I might try to stream it, but we could only get audio from him, not video as well. So it's probably going to finish up as a video series, but it's going to be a pretty full day tomorrow. It's going to start relatively early. So I will also pack it in here, folks. Again, thank you for the fantastic conversation, for the fantastic engagement. It's been a great pleasure. I will take your advice, your words into consideration for the membership offerings. At least coming up with something to put that out there. Again, it's good wisdom to live by. You have not because you ask not. Doesn't mean you're going to get it because you ask for it. But it's like you can't. If you don't play, you'll never lose, but you can't win, kind of thing. So I don't know. In any case. It's been enlightening. It's been joyful. Again, Underhill. And again, I'm not trying to hawk finances, but it does mean a deal. It's a hits me here for that show of support. So thank you for that as well. And yeah, I'm gonna see you all soon, hopefully Monday at the latest. And yeah, until then, keep playing. Except for me. I don't keep playing, as we established, but everybody else keep playing.